Renars podcast.
So today we have Edwin Lundgren, and he said not Lungren, it's Lungren, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, there you go. Digital creator, creator of the thing which I looked up, Culture Vulture, which is like massive right now on YouTube and all that stuff, and also Ultimate Frisbee, and he's a writer and he's a fitness model, all those things. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. I feel pretty good today.
Yeah, very glad that you made a moment for this because you're a busy guy. You were just coming from some writing stuff and you were doing stuff. And I like how you said, as I asked you, how was your day? And you're like, oh, it's been productive so far. So I actually use the same shit. I say like, is it productive? Was it, worth living this day or not? Anyways, listen, thanks again for being here.
It's my pleasure.
No, my pleasure is bigger than yours. Vulture culture, right? Culture Vulture. Jesus Christ, I can't. Yeah, culture. I need to put this on somewhere in front. This is kind of we met a while ago. I remember we start talking about Ultimate Frisbee because that's something what I used to play. That's something what you play right now. But then we met another kind of gathering, and you were talking about your YouTube channel and how you came up with the idea about it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. So how about we just straight away get into that? And so Culture Vulture started when?
Culture Vulture started sometime back in 2016, 16. So it was just me and a couple buddies who wanted to create our create a little group where we could express ourselves. Okay. And, with comic skits, comedy skits or music as well. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit all over the place, and it's absolutely nothing what it looks like today.
Yeah.
So how did it go from comedy skits and music videos to video essays about books and TV and nerdy Game of Thrones stuff, right? Well, we just kind of threw stuff at the wall and nothing worked.
Mm-hmm. Nothing stuck to it.
Nothing really stuck. Yeah, nobody watched the stuff we put out, and we put so much effort into it.
What kind of stuff did you guys put?
I think the best example is the music video we made. So it's a country song, actually. It's a comedy country song. And we went out to a farm, we got trucks in and everything and hired actors and shit. And yeah, we made so much effort to make it look as pretty as we could. No budget. And I was really proud of it, and I had so much fun making it. And
so what was the idea? Was just to create a music video?
Yeah, that time. That was a project. But yeah, so the channel didn't really have any direction.
Right.
Other than satire and maybe comedy and commentary of some sort.
Right.
And yeah, and so that was, I'm really proud of that. It's a pretty good music video. However, nobody watched it. And so we kept trying different things. But one day, Game of Thrones ended. And everyone was disappointed, and
that's what happened.
That's how it sounded like. Yeah. When the final episode was over, that was the outro credits. Yeah. So it was a huge sort of thing on the internet, and I remember feeling particularly frustrated because I had invested so much in this TV show, like so many other people had. And so one day I was actually just laying there in my bed. I was staring into the ceiling and I was like, God damn it, Game of Thrones, why'd you have to do me like that? And then an idea came to me, just like that. And I thought, maybe I should compile a list of all the grievances that people have about the final season of Game of Thrones and just make a video out of that. And just highlight all the narrative plot holes that happened and all the contradictory developments and character arcs and things like that. It's so frustrating, right? When a character just changes in an unnatural way, or things, they just kind of forget what happened earlier in the show. And there was so much of that in Game of Thrones. And so I did that. I set to work, and I was working I was kind of obsessed, working for 12, 15 hours a day, just writing and researching and gathering this compiling this huge list of things that went wrong in freaking Game of Thrones. And then I set to editing, and I did the voiceover, and it sucked, and I did the voiceover again, and it also sucked, and I just kept going until I had something that, looking back, I'm not super proud of this performance, but it was okay.
Yeah.
And so, I published this video, and 3 weeks later, it had many more views than any of my previous stuff had. And I was very, very proud of my 12,000 views.
Right. Yeah, you should be.
Right. It wasn't so bad.
12,000 views.
Yeah. And then one morning, I woke up and I just checked the stats on my YouTube app on the phone, and it kind of looked like maybe there was a decimal wrong or something, because it said 125,000 views, and I was like, "What?"
And this is much longer since it was 10,000 views?
That was like overnight.
Just overnight?
Yeah, literally overnight. And so I see this chart of the views, and it's just like an absolute spike, and I was like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? And then that spike kept going up and going up. And eventually, like I got enough subscribers and I got enough watch time to become a YouTube partner on that video alone. And so I was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to write nerdy video essays about pop culture.
But I mean,
that's how Culture Vulture really
that feeling, I guess, when you like, I've finally done something right, almost like I kind of struck gold.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's also like what you were telling me. It represents that famous picture where two guys are digging for the diamonds, and one of them turns around just before like he almost got them, and the other one just fucking continued digging.
Right, yeah.
So in you, they're representing the one who just continued digging. Because like if you look back to things what you already done, and you were like, I'm proud of this video. Why people don't like this video, right? And then you kind of just find this and think what you're nerdy about, and you're like really love and enjoy, and then now other people can appreciate it. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I think throughout this creative process, like you come across people with their own ideas and you get inspired by them, and you realize that you are actually inspiring other people in ways you maybe didn't even think about. And that is very rewarding too.
Yeah, 100%. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So then you did that first video, got that crazy spike, and how long was before you got the second video? And what was like, well, what am I going to do in the second video now? Like, what was like, when do you start kind of struggling for ideas? Like, oh shit, like this was great. Am I going to be able to repeat it or close to it or?
Yeah, so there was another sort of while of not really achieving any success. So that video kind of carried the whole channel for a long time. And but I kept trying doing video essays about pop culture. But I guess I'd really hit the nail on the head with the disappointment in Game of Thrones, right? Because everybody felt that way, with a very small minority who felt that it was fine. But then when I started expressing like edgy opinions about shows that people like, generally speaking, when I found flaws in Stranger Things or something like that, people were like, bro, like, but we like Stranger Things though. So they don't want to see the flaws in the things they like or they feel positive towards. So, so that was another realization that I had to sort of wrestle with, and I'm still wrestling with that because I want to, approach my commentary with the same kind of attitude and like authenticity that I approached the first successful one with. And so, sometimes I'll talk about something like The Last of Us, horrible TV show. Like objectively fucking speaking, horrible show. But people like that show because it's got Pedro Pascal in it, right? And so...
yeah, he's hot. I met him.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Yeah.
There you go. Unfortunately, that show has almost nothing to offer. Like when you really kind of dissect it and analyze it. Same goes for a show like House of the Dragon, which is the Game of Thrones spin-off series. Has absolutely nothing to offer. And it's just very hollow, And so somehow people still like that show. And I'm like, wait. All of you were disappointed in Game of Thrones. And now you're fans of House of the Dragon, which is like the worst of Game of Thrones, but even worse. It's like,
that's very interesting because I think with the Game of Thrones, like I honestly haven't watched the whole thing. I watched some bits and pieces. Probably not the best guy to comment about it, but like what I understand, like the season 7 was disappointment, right? So that was like the kind of the biggest. Oh, what the fuck happened in season 7, right?
Yeah, something like that. So
because I think they just loved it so much till season 7, and the build up was crazy. Oh, season 7 is going to be the last season. Did they announce that it's going to be last season?
I think after season 6, they announced that there were going to be 2 more seasons. And so they did 8 seasons in total. A lot of people found the show to be really disappointing after season 7 because that was a steep decline in quality for sure. Right. But then, you know, there's always next season, right? They can save this. And they didn't. And then everyone was just like, okay, this sucks.
Oh, that's funny. And it's, some of the videos I watched, I like your commentary about like, what is these writers? Like, what is going on with these guys? I'm just wondering how many, you know, if there's actually some of those writers saw this or this would reach them. They're like, oh, you know what? Like this, some people says the truth, and there's lack of logic, and I like how you say like you said this in the previous season, and this is the truth, and now you say this. So how does it make any sense? And like I kind of, and it's so many times I see that in movies. It's like why you run away from this killer, or why you can't just. My biggest disappointment sometimes is like, you know, when there's a bad guy and a good guy kind of beats up the bad guy, and just finish him.
Right. Yeah. That's a pretty common one.
I mean, like, seriously, I sit there like, just finish him. You don't even have to kill him. Just maybe tie his hands or something, you know? And then you're like, oh, he's back and he's now killing you again. Like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. It's almost like when they're standing over someone and they're going to deliver the final blow, and then somebody distracts them. They're like, what? And then they get taken out.
Yeah. Some of that, yeah. But yeah, so out of all the videos you've done with the Culture Vulture, so predominantly it's about the Game of Thrones, or what is the, how many Game of Thrones actually videos you've done?
So yeah, my audience has kind of become predominantly Game of Thrones oriented. And so I'm kind of pushed into a niche on YouTube where I'm kind of rewarded for Game of Thrones content, but not at all for other content. It's a bit of a shame. I'm trying to dig myself out of this hole, but I'm also like, I also do enjoy it a lot. So, and I keep finding new ways to talk about like the world of Game of Thrones, or the books, or comparing the Game of Thrones series to the books and stuff like that. So yeah, just finding new ways to talk about the same thing, kind of, but also adding new value to everyone.
Yeah, because it's interesting right now, like from your creative perspective, like I want to move on, do something else. It's interesting, like when actors get pigeonholed in doing certain things, you know.
That's how I feel.
Great example is like Friends, right? After they'd done 10 years of sitcom Friends. Is it considered a sitcom? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
comedy show, sitcom, and next thing you know, like everyone just knows them because of the Ross, because of the Joey, and because of all that.
Kind of shoehorned into the rom-com.
Yeah. So have you thought about what are the good strategies to get out of that kind of like a niche, or like being, you know, just like that's who you are?
Yeah. So recently I tried to make like other kinds of content that is still very much like surrounding Game of Thrones, but I'm also like tying in, or I'm almost making the central theme of the video something that is universal, but I'm applying Game of Thrones as a really good example of this phenomenon or whatever I'm talking about. So I recently did 2 videos. One was on the rise and fall of female empowerment in Game of Thrones. And so I'm looking at this theme of female empowerment, how you can actually make like good female empowerment in like a medieval story. And then I'm using like the character arcs in Game of Thrones as an example there. Okay, so that sounds very, I mean, that is pretty specific to Game of Thrones because I have to look at those specific character arcs and whatever. But then I did a video on realism in storytelling. Well, that was the working title anyway. And then I realized, but nobody's gonna watch it if it doesn't have Game of Thrones in the title. So I did the rise and fall of realism in Game of Thrones. And so what I'm doing is essentially I'm discussing why realism in storytelling is important. And then I'm almost solely using Game of Thrones as an example of how they did it so well and how they stopped doing it so well.
When you say realism, can you talk about that more? Like, what do you mean by realism?
Right. So that's a really good question. And a lot of people don't really know the difference between realism and real world accuracy. It's not exactly the same thing. So it's not really about documenting reality, because we're watching TV and film and stuff to kind of see something else. But it still all has to be, you know, coherent and consistent. And so if I say that, oh yeah, it's totally realistic that they have dragons in Game of Thrones, or that they have spaceships in Dune or something like that. Like, yeah, if that is established as a feature of this world, then that's realistic. That's something they have, right? However, if they also establish that it takes, it's human beings exist in this world and they don't have superpowers, they don't run or walk any faster than we do, there's just humans and also dragons, then okay, but the humans are still the same. So when people teleport between locations, I would call that out and say that's unrealistic because you have established dragons. So if you fly on it, that's fine.
Unrealistic according to the rules what you set in the very beginning.
Yeah, so it's like it's really all about internal consistency.
And it's you're a huge fan of board games, like D&D and stuff, and we played board games a couple weeks ago, and there is a point where like, okay, guys, these are the rules, and you have to stick to the fucking rules.
Yeah,
exactly. And that is annoying when if you see in a show what you really enjoy, like where did the logic go? And I could notice that for you, I don't know, is it because of your Swedish roots and people are very logical in Sweden? I'm not sure about that. I know that Latvians are. We are like very kind of, also the Northern Europe, whatever. But it's for me, it was always about like there has to be some logic. Like if there's a lack of logic, what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a sticklers to rules in some ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that it's about integrity, right? Like, if you win a game and you're cheating, then it's like, is it really winning?
Yeah.
Like, is that really the same? Is it as impressive as if you won when playing according to the rules, right?
Exactly.
So it's just worth more to play by the rules.
And here, I think like one of my biggest questions would be here, like, why do you think that the writers or like the whole production or whatever, like, why they do break these rules, why they don't follow the logic, what are the like kind of the reasoning for it? It's like then they look for the further development of the story, then they're like, well, if we stick to the rules what we created before, it's not going to make much sense, or we can't, so we need to kind of cheat. And do you think that they actually kind of what's the word, they purposely like, okay, well, I know that, this dragon can't do this and this, but like next one, we have to show that he can do this and this. How do you think, what is the kind of a thought process behind it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's in any like big production, like a HBO TV series or something like that, or you've worked on those things, right? So that there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and at
too many,
right? Okay, and so that's kind of one big reason why I think that logical inconsistencies happen a lot, and that's a shame. I mean, I don't really think that that's a good enough excuse because these are world-class productions. If somebody makes a backyard short film or something like that, I'm not gonna, be able to like, look at that, you missed a thing, or like there's slight inconsistency, whatever. But like if we're talking world-class productions with people getting paid a lot of money to make sure that shit is consistent and it's not, then I just like, what's your like?
Yeah, but do you think that they're like, it's it's not worth it, or something like the loss is not going to be big enough, or like we're going to be fine. Still, people are going to love it and they're going to watch it, and it's like it would be crazy. There would be some kind of like a court of film industry where they're like, oh, but you changed this character, prison.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
You would be
storytelling court. I would be.
You would be one of the barristers with a fucking wig there, sitting there like, oh, how dare you?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'll get back to your question, but that's a great idea. And I think a lot of, I'm in a bit of an echo chamber because my fans on YouTube, they will comment things like that. Like, oh, the people who made Game of Thrones, they should never be allowed to make a TV series ever again. And I'm like, well, I'm not entirely against that, because, they had it in their hands and then just threw it away. But yeah, another reason I think why they sort of make these mistakes or neglect even and it's a lot of people involved, but also it's really hard to keep track of a scopy story, And Game of Thrones is like probably like in recent times is like the scopiest story, arguably of all.
Yeah.
Again, that's not an excuse because they have all the resources available to them to not screw it up. Honestly.
What do you mean scopiest? Sorry.
So yeah, like the scope is really big. There's so many characters and there's so many things going on.
Too much going on.
Yeah, and then you have to tie all that up into some kind of satisfying conclusion. Right?
And they can probably wouldn't be able to imagine there's going to be some nerd from Sweden who's going to go through this all shit. What was this? You're like IRS.
Yeah.
the movie IRS.
Yeah. No, there should be institutions for this. And the more I think about it, the more I'm with it. Yeah.
You should maybe do a little video where you actually, it's a court room and you have like and then they pretend that they're directors or the writers of certain things, and then you're like, and then the prosecutor goes and does the speech, and there's going to be the freaking witnesses, actors who play like Khaleesi, like, well, what happened was they didn't pay me enough.
I really needed Starbucks that day, and it's not my fault that the props people didn't remove my Starbucks cup in front of me, and it wound up in the shot.
The craziest thing that is like, okay, well, as one of the examples, last year I worked in a really big production. Don't want to say more about it. I don't want to get in trouble. But basically, we created a fight choreo which would involve a knife. Right, so the main character would have a knife and would fight this other main character, right? And so they're just fighting, whatever. And then a couple of days before we were supposed to shoot it, they said, no, instead of knife, it's going to be a gun.
Oh, that changes everything.
Duh. And then we literally like, okay, so this whole fancy shit what we created with a knife and how it would be stabbing, whatever. So now it's going to be like with a gun, which you can do
yeah, you're literally bringing a gun to a knife.
Yeah, but instead of like, then we played around it like there was no way to shoot it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is cool, but at the same time, it's again like
it really kind of toned the line of being unrealistic at that
exactly.
point.
The realism just kind of goes out of the window, and for us, we were just like we end up. Again, we just kind of like a pawn in this whole thing, and we do what the big bosses say. So it's not much we can do about it. So, and that's what you say. It leads to some of the reasons why certain things wouldn't go this way or that way, why they would change. There could be so many things involved, like something with the cast, something with the location, something with this, something with that. And they would be like having a schedule, and they're behind schedule. And on Game of Thrones, they would involve so many people working on it and so much money every day, which would they lose? It's like thousands and millions or whatever of money. So it's like, and that's something what comes into play, and you understand more of it if you've been part of the production, you know? And then I almost want to say like, if I'm on the production side, I would say like, yeah, but you guys don't know what's going on in the big kitchen. It's like, it's easy afterwards to say, well, but he was wearing denim jeans in that background scene. There's a famous jean guy in Gladiator, the first one, the original. Yeah,
he was wearing jeans.
No, there was a horse. There was just in the background somewhere like a whiz of like the horse guy who was like just making sure that the horses are like standing, whatever. And then he was wearing jeans or whatever. And it's like, but to me, it gives also a little bit of humanity to this, because like we know it's not real. We know that people work on it. We know that there's like crews of people who don't sleep nights properly and all that. It's like as soon as you start kind of thinking about the human factor and like that this, you look a little bit differently on that shit.
Yeah. And I think I certainly make a difference between production errors and creative errors. If you write a bad script, that's you not being a very good writer. But if you have a guy in the background managing horses and he's wearing jeans, it's like, what are you gonna like? That's
cancel.
Not a choice. Never direct again.
But yeah, you see, the other thing is also like how the writing process works. So when they go meet with producers and whatever, and the writers say like, this is what we have. And then producers or directors is like, listen, no, I don't think I'm going to do this. I don't. So also the question is how much actually freedom writers do have at the end.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. And I haven't really gotten into that. I'm just speaking from the end consumer's sort of perspective. But in the end, it is all about the end product. And so as the end consumer, I don't care who lost sleep over this. And I don't care who was creatively obstructed by corporate hierarchies and politics or whatever. Like, I just like, am I supposed to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. That was pretty mediocre. And then someone goes in and says, well, there were all these problems standing in the way of a better end product. I'm not going to go, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm enjoying it more now. Yeah. No.
I think that then it has to be much stronger kind of a pushback from the audience to the point where we're like, we're going to boycott, we're not going to watch, we're not going to buy it. And then it's like, so what do? Make a better product, you know? But the problem is, and this is like, where does the main mass or the majority go? Because I always make fun of like the music, what we hear nowadays, or it's not even that nowadays, this is like how many years ago, when someone has a song, Ella, 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 and then we were like, yeah, that's a number one on the ratings, amazing, and who votes for it? But the main mass of people enjoy it. So, you know, I would say like Freddie Mercury created way better music, and the lyrics was writing.
But that's why people still listen to Freddie Mercury's music.
True.
To this day.
But then the question is, who is the majority, or who are the people who are listening, like these radio bangers, whatever they call them, yeah, who are like there for 3 weeks, and then afterwards no one remembers about them. But the truth is, that again, some corporation behind it makes the bigger buck about it. You know, they don't care anymore like the days back in the days were much better music. So they think, how do I make a lot of money right now? Yeah. I don't give a fuck what's going to happen in a couple, even months. You know?
I mean, I think that's pretty evident in the culture that's coming out, whether it's, you know, this really poorly produced TV series or movies or music. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, it's all fast food culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And I think it's just that so many people are just fine with mediocre. That then if I'm a big producer like HBO or Netflix or whatever, and people are fine with mediocre, then mediocre it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And but what do you think? What do you think has to happen so that change?
You know, I actually have a theory that if you just create one thing that is extremely good, like Game of Thrones became the most popular TV series of all time, arguably. And it still is the most engaging TV series in the world every single year since it ended. It still is today. Like it gets the most Google searches. Give it up for Game of Thrones. And I think there's a relatively straightforward answer to why that is. And it's that it's actually fucking got something worth talking about. Like even to this day, you know, you have all these intricate plot lines and all these cool character arcs, and it's all connected somehow. And it's actually kind of worth talking about that and worth watching it back. I mean, yeah, it ended poorly, but even that is like cause for more speculation. How could it have been better? You know, it was so good. It had all this potential. And you enjoy that potential while it's good, but also even though if it's not realized, you can still discuss how that potential could have been realized. And I think that creates so much engagement. And I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and she said that, yeah, well, Game of Thrones did come out in a different time. Like this is like 15 years ago now.
I was about to talk about it. Continue.
Yeah, so that's a different, that's like the golden age of television, I like to call it, like between 2009 and 2016, when things were like, they really kind of invested in these thorough, thought out narrative that had a fucking end in sight, you know, that aren't just made to make another season like it is now, kind of. I mean, it has been like that before too, but the best of the best were the ones that were going somewhere, you know, like Breaking Bad, for example. That's probably the second most engaging TV series of all time, for the same reason. It has so much potential, and that's 5 seasons. Today, 5 seasons sounds kind of daunting. You know, if I recommend a TV series to you and I say it's 5 seasons, you're gonna be like, poof, that's kind of an investment. Yeah. I don't know about that. And I'm like, no, but trust me, bro, it's really worth it. Like if you said that a few years or like 10 years ago, you might be more inclined to actually watch it. But and I think that sort of says something about where things have been going in the last 15 years.
And I think in general, like the now it's interesting concept about TV series, right? So before that, it was all about blockbuster, big movies, Terminators, like Commandos. I just keep calling it Arnie's for stuff. But like the big movies, right? And then who was actually the first who came up with the TV series concept? Was it Lost? Was it one of them, right? And then Game of Thrones was one of the kind of like followers who was like quite close. And I think then they had a much bigger pressure about let's make TV series like it's a movie, but like every series is like a movie kind of thing. And then now years later, when there's like TV series about anything and everything, right? Then they're like just like stamping and creating like, you know, really you can see
it's very
anything.
cookie cutter.
Yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
machine made almost.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, and which is just like what the hell. So yeah, when which one do you remember? Which one was like one of the first like big TV series?
I mean, I think there have always been these legendary TV series as long as they have been TV series. I think MASH is maybe the oldest one that I can think of. I never watched it myself, but I've definitely observed the fandom, you know, and it's a significant fandom of this really old, it's called MASH. It's about Vietnam War or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a comedy TV series, I think. But yeah, and then you have more like closer to our time, you've got like The Wire. I think most people have heard of The Wire, which was huge. And it was like also quite scopy, complicated, but it all came together, made sense, and it fucking ended, you know, a satisfying ending. And then you have things like Westworld, which was another super popular TV series that really kind of took the world by storm in 2016 when it came out, or 15. And it's like, it's so tight. It's really, really like dense. Every single scene is very thought out and adds something to the overarching narrative and everything. Nowadays, I watch a lot of TV series and I'm just like, you could have taken this scene out entirely. You don't actually need it. Like it doesn't contribute to the character development or the overarching, nothing. And so I'm like, why are they, like, they're just literally putting something on the screen and then it's like, yeah, look at that. And if you don't like that, look at the next thing. It's like it doesn't matter. And as somebody who gives a shit, like that makes me really sad.
Yeah. That is one of the things, like when it just market gets so oversaturated and they, you know, trying to what's the next thing. Yeah. But the TV series, I think it's the coolest way just to steal people's lives. Like the amount of binging people do, me including, like sometimes we're just like, I can't stop. I need to watch it. It's nuts. Yeah. What do you think about this? How TV series just take people's lives?
Honestly, it's my favorite medium of consuming stories. Right. And because you have the artistic side of the visual medium, but you also have the time that a movie never seems to have.
Right.
I mean, some movies are perfectly like packaged. It's like, you don't need more or less than that.
Yeah.
But TV series, they really have a lot of time to thoroughly tell a story and develop characters and make everything feel meaningful. Similarly to books. And I think that books can sometimes meander, like oftentimes even really good stories kind of meander a lot. Because they have that license somehow because they're books, you know? But when so much more is on the line at every single step of the process of making a TV series or a movie, like it's more expensive, there's more people involved. And so I think you really need to pay attention more to every single detail. And that kind of packs a much harder punch a lot of the time. I mean, when it's a book, it's an author who can do whatever they want. Like they can drag it out or they can make it short or whatever. And it's really only them. It's the author that decides, unless there's some kind of publishing politics or whatever. But you know what I mean? I think TV series is the ultimate kind of storytelling medium.
For the books, 100%. I totally agree. Because when in the past they would do like, or not just in the past, but you do a film, which is like a feature, hour and a half, 2 hours a long movie, to have a book and put it in, it's almost impossible. It's like, and that's why TV series is so great, you know, and like, I think for me as well, like I liked Harry Potter, you know, and then it was based on the books and stuff. And I remember how some guys would be like, oh yeah, it's so far away from what is written in the book. But Harry Potter is different. It's movies, it's films. It's not like a TV series and stuff. But yeah, that's it's always interesting for me to read something and then afterwards see a movie and how director sees it differently than I saw it. And like, what would you say would be like a good example when you read a book, You watch the TV series or the film, and you're like, that's like these guys did an amazing job.
Right. Yeah. I think they did a really good job of adapting the Hunger Games.
Right.
Yeah. So those books are surprisingly short, or I was surprised that they were so short. But yeah, they didn't really need to be much longer either. So, and then when it's a 300-400 page book, yeah, that translates pretty well into a movie. So, yeah, there are even some like almost word for word scenes in the Hunger Games that are just like in the book. And that's always fun to see. Yeah, but I also think that, yeah, like early Game of Thrones is a fantastic adaptation. Like, yeah, with the budget constraints that they had in season 1, it's nothing short of impressive. And you know, like that also goes to show that the people involved gave a fuck. Like they did care. Yeah. And so despite the constraints, or I dare say because of the constraints, sometimes the creativity gets to really flourish. And yeah, so you see that these showrunners that so often get criticized, by me included, that they ruined Game of Thrones in the end, but they actually really knew what they were doing. So when they ruined Game of Thrones, it's like, yeah, we know that you can, if like you could do it justice if you wanted to, you chose not to, and that kind of adds to that disappointment.
Yeah, but, and it's again, like it would be so difficult for us to know what exactly happened, but just to understand, because in the beginning, as you said, like they're very constrained with the budget and they're really creative. But then I'm wondering, after, of course, the success of the first and second or third season, like I'm guessing then they attracted different investors, they attracted different producers, or they attracted different, I'm just assuming, I don't know enough. But like when there is a lot of money put in and someone says like, no, you're not going to do this, but you have to do this. That's what is like the saddest part of it. Yeah. You know, and it's like if they would just maintain exactly the same spirit, the same attitude, like how they had in the first couple of seasons, and then it just continues. Have you seen any, like, do you have any examples of TV series which actually would improve? It's like would be quite kind of, in the first two seasons, whatever, and then it just goes much, much better.
Oh my gosh. A TV series that improves. This almost never happened, Renars. Yeah.
That's the one.
I might have to get back to you on that one. I've heard
you could do a special video about this.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good video concept. So I've got 2 video concepts already. I've got Storytelling Court and TV series that actually improved.
Yeah, Your Honor. And you should play all the characters.
Yeah, that could be funny, actually.
That could be like, but he said he would give me money. I don't know, what was that, a beggar or something like?
The executives, they didn't allow me to.
Here you go. That's the one. Game of Thrones, actually, like I know quite a lot of people who worked on it, a lot of stunt performers who worked on it. They had some massive fire scenes and stuff where I know the stunt guys who literally made so much money doing fire scenes where they like bought a house in the UK or some shit like that. So it's like, I unfortunately didn't work on Game of Thrones. I worked in TV series like Vikings. I did that one. Did you watch it?
I did watch the first 3 seasons, yeah.
First 3 seasons. And apparently those, like the first 2 seasons apparently were the slowest ones. And then that's, as far as I know, that's where, as I said, like the example that it was getting like better and better down the line. And also you see like it's, I don't know how it's with Game of Thrones, but with Vikings, like they would change directors all the time. So they would have a first season, whatever, is one director, then different director. Obviously it's going to make, a big difference.
What I see a lot is that TV series, even within a single season, they can have multiple directors doing different episodes. And I guess that does make sense if the writing is really tight and if you have maybe a really like thorough and clear vision that they need to work within, then that could make sense. But I think especially recently, like in the last few years, a lot of TV series seem to kind of go in a few different directions, and you're like,
it's very interesting concept. I have no understanding about that one. But with Game of Thrones, was it like the same director from the beginning till end?
No, I think they also had multiple directors in single seasons. But I think also the writing was tight until it wasn't. And I think also another thing they kind of fell victim to is what I like to call the budget paradox. And I mean, my research is not complete with the budget paradox, but the theory is essentially that a little bit like this common economical theory where if you can only tax your population so much until you start losing money,
right?
Because people leave the country or they start to cheat on their taxes or whatever. And the same thing goes for budgets in movie or TV series productions. The more money is not always more good, because at some point you have so much money that people are like, oh, well, let's just blow it on expensive CGI or something. And that might sound like a good idea initially, but it's not. Like the best moments in any TV series or film that you've ever seen, like probably your top 20, does not involve a lot of CGI. Like most likely. It's most likely some kind of climactic moment between people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like that's just storytelling basics.
I totally agree. And that's why, like, for example, the big kind of debate among my friends and some stunt performers, and it was about Gladiator, right? So the first Gladiator, everyone remembers for like, just amazing stuff. And when you just think about it, there was not much like special effects. There was not much. It was mainly about these close-up acting, intricate relationship, and like the actors were just like Russell and Joaquin, like they were just like wow. And then now on the Gladiator 2, where I had opportunity to work on, and it was funny that I was in Bali, and my friend, did you see the Gladiator 2 or not?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so do you remember the character who was riding a rhinoceros?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very good pal of mine, Chris Halloway. Shout out for Chris. Where's the... he actually was my guest not long ago, also on a podcast. And so as he decided to come to Bali for a couple of weeks, and I was thinking like, anywhere I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be like, guys, have you seen Gladiator 2? And I imagine like everyone was like, yeah, that was full, yeah. Did you guys know that there's this guy who's riding rhinoceros? Like, yeah, this is this guy, dude. Anywhere we go, no one's seen Gladiator 2. And then some people who did, they thought it was not that good, and they were like, rhinoceros? There was a rhinoceros? And it's like, but it's just going back to, again, I don't know, again, what the budget was, but I'm pretty sure it was way bigger than the first one. No, I need to check. I don't know. But I imagine it's bigger, like way more stunt performers, way more stuff going on and whatever. And in the end, dude, I watched it. I was not impressed. The story, and it was nothing to do with like, okay, that you can get great fight scenes and some weird monkeys running around. Like, I mean,
they were really weird.
That CGI monkey looked so weird. It was just like, eesh. And it's just what, I think the only kind of scene which I did enjoy was like Denzel at the end when he was like fighting the Lucius and something like whatever, but that was so much crappy stuff.
I think that's such a great example, because that is a much rawer fight. Like that fight is raw.
Yeah.
It's not full of CGI monkeys and rhinos.
Yeah. Or it's sharks just like floating and pulling people under. Like, what the fuck, man?
No, it's just like two guys going at it, and it's like every blow is like life and death, and it's like the empire's at stake every time you swing your sword and stuff. Like that's stakes, that's narratively speaking, like those are important stakes, and that's what we like. But yeah, so when we see monkeys and rhinos and they're killing all these nobodies, essentially, no one actually cares about that because of narrative stakes. And I think I'm gonna keep looping back to Game of Thrones, but it's another great example is Jason Momoa.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he has this brilliant fight scene in season 1 where he is insulted by one of his people. They are like horse riders. And what happens is he just kind of, it's a really short fight. They swing their swords a few times, but then he just like grabs the guy and like shoves his hand through his mouth or something, like rips out his throat. And there's absolutely no CGI, and it's a relatively short fight, and it's so super memorable.
It was one take, and the guy died.
Exactly, and it was totally worth it because it was a beautiful piece of TV in the end.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, and then you have all these CGI monkeys that people don't really remember, but I'm talking about this Jason Momoa fight like 15 years later because it was that good. Or take the Rings of Power. The Rings of Power, the single most expensive TV series ever made. Have you watched it?
No.
No, don't. It sucks. It's terrible.
I thought you were gonna be saying like idiot. It's the best thing ever.
No, genius. It's awful. So yeah, that is just another, you know, like another piece of evidence that more money does not equal more good.
No.
You know,
and it's very interesting that again, like when they try to do the sequels and all that stuff, it's like they ride on that fame. What was before. They ride on those things, and like so many people probably went to see Gladiator just like because they were such big fans of the first one. And the reason why I didn't go to see the second one, I was like, the first one is so good, and there's no way they can fill out those shoes. There's no way it's gonna happen, right? And I was right.
Yeah. No, right. I mean, I think that's what happens when you have a really good ending. If you unend that good ending, then you're making a mistake and you're doing damage to the franchise or the story as a whole. Yeah. And Westworld is a brilliant example of this. It's essentially a 10-hour movie. It's made by Christopher Nolan's brother and his wife. And it's a 10-hour movie with a super satisfying, semi-open ending. Very, very tasteful. And then there was season 2. And it just undoes that sort of ambiguity that existed in season 1's ending. And then it just goes on to become a complete train wreck. And it doesn't have anything to offer because, you know, when you've ended something, you've kind of connected back to how it all started and you've made that its own sort of confined thing. And so if you start to kind of poke open that bag, you're just kind of borrowing things, and you can never make something so substantial again after you've kind of already exhausted the foundation of the story.
Yeah.
And it's complete. So yeah, that's, I think, why sequels are generally so disappointing.
Right.
Because of simple storytelling principles. It's not rocket science.
But I just recently watched spin-off called Saul, which was done from the Breaking Bad and stuff, right? And I was very positively surprised.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed to see the journey of that lawyer who was been doing just all sorts of shit and the relationship with his brother and stuff. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet, actually.
Spoilers for you, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it was like, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was like, whoa, okay, so they did something right here. So it's not always the spin-offs and whatever, like it's not going to be good. It's just maybe different but they again, like they just try, you know, and hope that it's gonna work. And then, but how often do you think that they know that it's not going to be as good, but they're like, fuck it, well, we still can get a paycheck for it, and we can get the budget for it and stuff. And because like I'm pretty sure the conversation somewhere goes, well, Gladiator is massive name, we're gonna make it. It's, you know, even if it's gonna be shit, people are still gonna come watch.
Yeah. I think they're just thinking about one thing: asses in seats. That's all they care about. I don't think the director is going, oh yeah, so this is going to be an extension of my legacy. It's a paycheck. That's it.
That's
and
where it's fucking
like
sad.
all they have to do is to not fuck it up as much as they can, because it's never going to be as good, and it's not going to be the next thing. It's going to be asses in seats, and then people are going to forget about it. And I think they're too clever to not know this.
Yeah. And it's interesting that it's a similar dilemma what we were talking about your YouTube channel, because you opened with this amazing thing that was a Gladiator,
right?
And now you want to do you don't really want to do Gladiator 2, but you're almost forced to do it.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Nice one. You really tied it back. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then you're like, well, but I believe that, like, if I talk about other stuff, you know, and I go, it's like,
Back in your niche.
Yeah, back in your niche.
Don't try to escape the friend zone here.
And that's the question, is like how much someone can keep pushing not in their niche and like exploring before they get, you know, bankrupt, basically.
You know, I think when some creators are big enough, they can do whatever the hell they want, you know? But I guess I just haven't really gotten to the point where it's all about me. It's still very much all about Game of Thrones.
Right.
But yeah, if I can create a more solid following and loyal following, and that will follow me wherever I go, then And then maybe I one day can talk about
You need to get the Star Wars nerds on your side.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you know, I have plans to watch the Star Wars TV series Andor, which apparently is actually good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, all of the recent or the Disney Star Wars productions have apparently been really poor. I did watch one of them, and it was indeed very poor. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited about Andor, actually.
Yeah. Who do you think has the biggest following out of like all the TV series or franchises or whatever? I'm guessing it is Game of Thrones.
Ooh, I mean, I don't know, that's a tricky one.
Because thinking about like Comic-Cons and whatever, like with the biggest, the fans for whatever, it's for the Star Wars, isn't it? Or Star Trek.
Yeah, I imagine it would be Star Wars probably.
Because I'm referring to a lot to, because I watched Big Bang Theory like 10 times back and forth, just because I like something in background. But yeah, how like, they talk about how important is like this, the Star Treks and this, these old nerds are like following certain traits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And also how interesting when you destroy franchise, not destroy franchise, but when you think this happened in a movie, that someone goes and like tells you that doesn't make any logic, any sense. And that was Amy with Sheldon, that Amy destroyed for Sheldon the
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah. So she destroyed Indiana Jones for him because she's like, it didn't make any sense that the Germans went and did this and did that. And Sheldon goes, goes like this moment, like, shit, it doesn't. And then he tried to destroy some other films for her and stuff. So
I see. Yeah. No, people do get sensitive about this.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of my role as a critic. Is I come under fire for stepping on people's toes for those exact reasons, right?
But at the end of the day, I look at it like whatever you took it from this experience, that's your thing. In a sense, like you watch something like, for me, honestly, very often it would be like, yeah, I don't really care about the certain facts, what happened. I do care about like things that I mentioned before, that, why you didn't kill the bad guy. Why is he still there and then left the threat like that? That's just not logical at all. Like just fucking, that makes me angry. But in general, I think like whatever people took from what these films and it's just that's for you and that works. So
yeah, and sometimes I really envy that. I wish I could enjoy these things that other people enjoy.
Right.
But I am able to see it for what it is, more so than they are. I mean, that's an elitist thing to say, maybe, but it's also true. So I just but sometimes I wish I could be ignorant like that and have that
but that's how you value things in your life. That's how you look at things. It's just the same thing with the relationships. As let's say if someone does care that someone is pedantic and all clean and OCD, whatever, for someone it doesn't matter. So it's like for someone that's a big trigger, and for someone didn't even notice, like seriously, she eats really loud, like I never heard of that. And then someone's so it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's have a little break.
Blah blah blah. Renars podcast.
Here you go. We back. First half talked lots about creating content and Game of Thrones and the writing and like that's a good kind of leads us to let's talk about writing. So you have been doing writing for a while now. Like you're getting more serious in it now. Some little birdie told me that you might be writing a novel. Oh my god! So wait, I have a sound for it. Tell me about your novel.
All right. Thank you for asking. So
let's go.
Yeah, like I did kind of start my writing journey as I was like parallel with my YouTube channel. As I was analyzing more and more stories, I eventually realized that maybe I could try my hands at making a story of my own.
Right.
And I started writing a book. I did after I was really disappointed in the first season of Squid Game. It all comes back
I love how
to my disappointment.
You.
Here's the thing about being a productive hater is that you have to channel the disappointment into something productive. That's kind of my philosophy. I was really disappointed with Squid Game. Have you seen it?
Some of it. I kind of understand.
Did you work in it?
Concept. No, I didn't work in it. Very often I work on stuff and I never fucking seen it. but I kind of understand the concept of it, and I never got in. I'm also one of those who never does what everyone else does.
Sure.
So when everyone was going crazy, oh my God, Squid Game! Have you seen Squid Game? It's the best. It's the best Squid Game. Have you seen Squid Game? It's like, shut up. And that's why I never watched Squid Game.
I don't want to watch it now.
Yeah, because of you guys.
All right, Mr. Anti-hype. Well, I mean, it's fine. I'm gonna be generous and say it's fine.
Okay.
But it has a major disappointment in it.
Of course.
And they try to rectify that in season 2, and that's actually a good example to your question before, where they kind of improved on something.
Okay.
On that aspect anyway. So there's this really interesting character in Squid Game. He is kind of the antagonist. He is the bad guy initially, who you think is the bad guy. He's like the face of evil, and he has a mask. He's like this dark, mysterious dude who sends everybody to die and has this whole colorful crew who makes sure that people play deadly games and die. So this guy is a clear antagonist. And he's also apparently a person who has survived the Squid Game before, and then somehow he's gotten involved in this organization and become like the leader or the manager of the Squid Game itself. So how do you go from being this like oppressed person to being the oppressor?
Yeah, but that's usually the storyline.
It is usually the storyline. And I mean, it is such an interesting concept, right? That's why people like to tell that kind of story. And I was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna see a hot Korean take on this kind of trope, but we didn't. So there's different reasons for why they kind of split Squid Game up into multiple seasons and also dragged it out. It's probably supposed to be a movie initially, and then they changed it. Anyway, so they kind of rectify that by giving that antagonist more of involving him more in season 2. But it didn't really work. And so when I was initially really disappointed with this character in season 1, I was like, okay, how would I do it if I like told the story of a person who plays what is essentially a battle royale game, like the Hunger Games or the Squid Game, and then you become the manager of the game itself. And so I started crafting my own sort of manager guy character, and then that kind of evolved into a world where a battle royale exists. And unlike the Squid Game, my game is kind of like the Olympics or the World Cup of football. It's like the biggest event of the year, and people volunteer to sign up for it because of the benefits.
And the prize, what you can get.
That you can win. You can launch yourself into a much better life if only you survive. And then I have this whole backstory to the evil manager of this game. But I also try to make it much more complex. And first of all, it's not actually a battle royale really, where last man standing wins, but it's rather a race where you have to make it from the starting line to the finish line before the time runs out. And the catch is that every time a player perishes, however that may happen, time is added for everyone.
Oh, time is like they have more time.
Yeah, so they have more time to finish the race. If they all like fail to finish the race within the time limit, they just get stuck in the arena and they're gonna die.
Yeah. But the idea is like they are motivated to basically kill off everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. So and so then it becomes less of now fight, and more of a kind of incentive to like a devious, dark incentive.
Right.
And you have to make choices all the time. Like, do I want to cooperate and make sure that we all win together? Because
and we go
everyone
fast.
Exactly. Will I travel faster with this person who could help me over obstacles or give me good ideas?
But the problem is that at the end, only one person can get the prize.
Everyone that crosses,
and
the
all of them
line,
get the equal prize.
They get to share the prize. So if you're greedy, then you might want to
then
off some people
straight away.
for that
Have
reason.
incentive that I'm the only one who finishes it.
Right, but then do you have it in you to like just kill people for a larger slice of the pie?
Of course, I do.
And yes, exactly, and that's. But not everyone is as dark and sinister as you, Renars.
Well. Okay, and this is what you were writing. This is your concept.
So it just kind of developed into this whole story, and I started writing that story. And then I started writing another story.
Are you not afraid to do the spoilers now? Like,
well, that's the sort of the setup, the concept itself. And so there's no spoilers in that. And
no, but like also like someone can steal the concept.
Yeah, well, no. Actually, no. No. I don't think IP works that way. I mean, I could definitely win a lawsuit, even if they went after me for that, or sorry, if they copied that.
Right.
Then I have a lot of documentation going years back that proves that this is my concept.
Oh, okay.
Basically just Google Drive documents, right?
Right. But what if they say like that was my original idea?
If they can prove it, then okay, yeah. But I have the documents dating back years, so yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, you know better. So yeah, that's a cool concept. So and then you write it with the idea that it would be a book, it would be a story. What is it considered? What is the format?
Yeah. So when I think of these things of my stories, I usually tend to think in terms of TV series, actually, because that's what I consume most. I did start reading a lot of books after deciding to write a book, actually, but I still think of it as like playing out as a TV series.
Right. And do you like almost reverse engineer it? So you imagine how it would be TV series first and then you write it?
Kind of, yeah. So that does a little wonky maybe, but that also makes for some really immersive reading. So tells me my writing group that I show my writing to. So yeah, I've gotten some good feedback, and it's a really fun project. I would have loved to write it as a screenplay, but then
who knows, man?
Maybe it will be a screenplay one day. But that requires, as we talked about before, so many other people to be involved in a lot of everything. Whereas a book, exactly that, especially that. Whereas writing a book, you could just write it. Right? Like it's just, all it takes is me just writing it. I mean, that's not easy, but at least I don't need to involve a lot of other people.
Like
and a guy with jeans in the background managing horses and stuff.
So since you were a kid, were you like really into reading and writing and stuff?
I was, yeah. I always wanted to write, but I couldn't. I tried and I was like, well, this is not, like, what am I doing? And so it really was only when I had something to say that I kind of started to become a writer.
Right.
And that was the video essays, starting with Game of Thrones.
Let's dive into your upbringings a little bit. So from Sweden, which city, town, where did you grow up?
I come from a relatively small town in the proximity of Stockholm called Norrtälje.
Norrtälje, I like it. Sounds very tasty.
Yeah.
Norrtälje on my pancake. Pancake.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you lived there till what age before you went for uni or whatever? Or you just went to Stockholm for university?
Yeah, after I graduated from high school, I moved to Germany.
Oh, you lived in Germany.
Felt like I wanted to get some experiences abroad, and so went to Germany at 19. And first thing I did was like, I'm going to learn German. So I did that, and then I started working there. And then I got sick and tired of Germany as a country and moved back to Sweden, worked there for a little bit. And that was pretty mind-numbing, working in like IT and stuff like that. So that wasn't for me.
And it was, what was your degree or education? What did you study?
I haven't got a degree, no.
Oh, so you went after high school, you just went like, go to Germany, just work, whatever.
Yeah.
And study the language. And you right away went into IT.
Yeah, I did. I got into IT through customer support.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with IT and other startups.
Yeah. But then during like, let's say, all this time with the high school, whatever, so you were just like fan of like reading books and like watching certain like fantasy stuff? Because I'm guessing you're more into fantasy stuff, right?
I did get into that eventually, but I wasn't really a fantasy guy growing up or as a kid. I did like Harry Potter, like everyone else, And so that was probably the first book I read like by myself. My dad used to read that to me as well.
And what's a time, like, would you say in your life you realized you have this inkling of like, I want to get the fuck out of this environment where I'm growing up, living, and I see how maybe limited it is, and like because I had that feeling for a while, and then it just exploded when I was like 24, 25. And then I was like, I need to do something with it, and that's how I moved and all that shit.
Right.
But how it was for you?
Yeah, so I always had this curiosity about other cultures,
Yeah.
and I was always a bit of a language nerd. Always had that desire to explore a little bit at least. And so when I had the opportunity to move with my friends to Germany at the early age, 19, that was a great opportunity to kind of take a little step out into the world. I mean, Germany is not super far, and culturally also not that far apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a really important step, because Berlin is kind of a melting pot. So you get a lot of influences from all over the world.
Berlin is like almost like Europe's London, kind of more or less. Well, even though Europe is supposed to be London, but it's not part of the EU
This is a
anymore.
Brexit joke.
It's yes and no, but like even though UK, I would say it's part of Europe, but I never really considered it. Is it Europe? Because UK is like one language, everyone like has to speak our language, kind of bullshit. But like if you go to Italy, like you have to communicate with, like, it's just like feels, I don't know, feels like we're different.
Europe's too diverse to have a center, huh?
I guess so.
In a
Because
way,
like, what is considered to be officially the center of Europe? Is it like Brussels? No, but it's like that's just a politically. But like where people, I think,
like culturally, maybe Berlin is a good
I think
shot.
Berlin is the biggest one. Like maybe Rome, then or Milano, then in Italy and stuff. But it's again that's mainly for fashion and shit. So it's like different things. But Berlin is for crazy parties, underground.
Oh, dude, I wish I partied more at the time. I was such a good little boy when I was
just
there.
hear stories about fucking Berlin, man. Like this nasty shit is going on in those fucking places.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said like he has this friend who just recently decided that he's gay. And he's like, come with me to this club. Like they said it's sort of like a cool gay place. They basically come in, everyone is like leathers, whatever, and just literally fucking each other.
Oh, wow.
And they were like at the wall like this, what is this? And the guy just popped his closet and he's seeing this.
Damn.
It was like all these men just super aggressive on each other. It's like, oh God. Berlin, woo!
Yeah.
Let's go to Berlin. Cool. So for early age, you like felt that curiosity. And this is the thing what I very often ask someone who left their home country, travels and experiences, and I'm representing one of them. It's like very interesting how we are raised in the same environment, but for whatever reason, some of us do want to leave the nest. They are curious about stuff around. They think because my feeling was like, is this it? It's like I was actually asking that like internal question, is this it? Like there must be more,
Yeah.
And Latvia is like, even tinier than Sweden. Like what is going on? There's not much, And then just saying like, yo, I'm just patriot. I'm sitting here. And it's like, woo. But come on, man. The world is so much bigger and so much crazy shit to see, Yeah. And then so basically, how do you see that? Like also among your peers, like I don't know if you still keep in touch with some of your schoolmates or mates from your environment where you grew up. Like, what do you see the main difference? Is it just purely the lack of curiosity that's the reason why I stay here and I'm happy?
I think it seems to me that it's a matter of contentment. Like, is this enough for you? And for me, it wasn't. And so that's the short answer, I guess.
Yeah.
And I imagine that applies to you too. And it seems to be the case for a lot of people that I meet as well, out in the world. So I really wasn't content with the template life, where you indebt yourself to live in a mediocre place and have a mediocre job, and you're never really happy. Yeah. And so I thought, you know what, it's worth kind of risking it to explore and to gamble a bit and see if I can have more. And it turns out that I could. Even though I don't have the same sort of stability and security that the people back home do. But then again, I enjoy my life much more. I think it looks, or I certainly enjoy my life much more than I would if I would have stayed. Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting for me was that I went for 2 years, I went away, I was in Canada. And then after 2 years, I came to Latvia. And then like being in Canada, I was like, like 2 years, I got this good experience. Because all I wanted to do, it was just basically I wanted to get away for a bit and just, see stuff, whatever, and then come back with that idea. But then I came back and literally in 3 days, I was like, I'm not staying here.
Yeah,
And
like moving back home to your parents, but like moving back to your country and being like, well,
yeah, because the biggest one is it was a culture shock, but opposite culture shock.
Reverse culture shock.
Reverse culture shock. Because where I lived in Canada, the people I was communicating, it was like, it's just like, so first of all, Canadians are the worst example because they're so positive all the time. Everything is great. Everything's fantastic. You step on their foot in the bus and they're going to apologize. Sorry. Yeah. I said, sorry, I was standing there. It's like, yeah, you should be standing there. It's fine. And then you come to Latvia and the timing was also the worst. It was like spring. It was snow was melting, all the dog shit was coming out, kind of thing, and then you just like, and everyone was so depressed, and it's just anyone you would sit talk, they complain, this bad, that. I'm like, come on, man, and I was like, okay, I need to go back.
Yeah,
and then just never looked back basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, being a small country as well. I mean, I imagine that you also probably, like me, might take issue with the homogenous culture.
I love you use such a fancy words all the time. Like once in a while, I'm like, what is? I just like gonna wave. Yeah, I know what he's saying. What was homogenous?
Homogenous is like,
fuck you.
You know what that means, though.
I heard of it. I don't know what's the definition.
It doesn't mean gay. It's not like homosexual.
Because homogenous and homosexual sounds so similar.
So homogenous is like when everything is the same.
Oh, okay.
Or similar.
Yeah, why don't you just say that?
That's what it means. That's what
homogenous. Anyways, because English is for you is your third language, right?
The second.
Oh, so what about German though?
Well, I did learn that after I learned English, and I feel much more comfortable speaking English.
But do you speak fluently German though? Kind of rusty since it's been a while. Oh, okay. Yeah. Second, for me, English is third language. So
I see. Oh, wow.
I can be shitty.
Okay, wow. Russian, is that your second?
Yeah, I would. Okay. Yeah, it is. I think it's like English or Russian. I think English is a little better now than Russian.
Okay,
I think, especially when I hang out with like the Russians in Bali, they're like, Russian is just like next level because I grew up with the old Russian stuff like movies. Grandma Russian. Yeah, I'm a grandma Russian exactly. But yeah, okay.
I took 1 semester of Russian actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After I moved to Bali, like my second year, I was like, it's time to learn the local language. That's not the right one.
This local language in Bali is Russian, just so you know, guys. It's what else I have here? Oh, this one.
I love that one. I use that in my videos a lot.
What's the local language in Bali? Is it Balinese?
It's Russian.
Hey, there you go. Okay, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fine. I think remote courses for languages is kind of hard, especially if you're not in an environment that speaks that language. Yeah, so
it's very difficult. Yeah. You have to be like super dedicated, super disciplined, and you need to have at least one good Russian friend who is just gonna come and like help you and like call you out and stuff. And like, it's difficult. Yeah. It's much better to just be thrown in deep end. Like when I moved to Canada, I was like, my English was kind of all right. Like I studied business in English, but it was very like specific type of English, very formal or very businessy kind of thing. And then I was like, tap water? What the fuck is tap water? Like, I still can't say this. Mowing lawn. I just say cut grass. I remember my landlord was like, Renars, do you mind mowing lawn? I was like, what?
I still struggle to pronounce the word bull.
Bull?
Yeah, like a male cow.
Oh, really?
Bull. Yeah, people are like, bowl? Oh. Are you like bowl?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I struggle to say bowl. Like, can you pass me that bowl? I don't know how to say bowl. Bowl. And then things like ear, hair, and fucking beer, like all that shit for me is like, that's like whatever we given from like our first languages, that's the arsenal, what we can use, the ammunition. And then you see like how like Asian people struggle to speak in English and stuff, like the accents they have, the things where they struggle to pronounce. Very interesting. Yeah, it's very kind of nuts to think about how some people, they love what they love. They love to be in their little bubble, their environment, and like, what, you're gonna go to different country? What's wrong with you? It's like, and I was also like kind of a little bit conditioned, like why would I leave and whatever, but I had the gut feeling. It was just a massive gut feeling. Like it's just something is going on there. And then I would be like sleeping on the floor in Canada, like, and doing door-to-door sales, and I still thought I was doing good because like I went for a leap of faith, I did it. I just went for it.
Yeah.
And now I just like, okay, how to survive, how to do, what's going to be next step, how to get this done. And I think it's amazing because once in a while I think about when I'm old fart, I'm going to look back like, what risks did you take in your life? What did you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I went back and forth between my house and an office 9 to 5 every day. It's like, good times.
Yeah. And the thing is like after like 5 years and whatever, you say like, where did those years go? What did you do? You did this monotonous bullshit like over and over and over. And it's funny enough, like now I've been doing stunts for like 10 years. Like I feel like I'm stagnated. So that's why like I, throw in stand-up, I throw in podcasting, I throw like things what, makes it something different, something.
So you're changing up your mediocre life where you meet Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill and you're like, Edwin, please come and give me something new.
Exactly. I like how you pronounce Henry's last name, Cavill.
Isn't it Cavill?
I think it's a Cavill. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. I've heard all three. Cavill.
Do you like him as an actor?
I think he's good, yeah.
I will tell you a story about him, which is going to make you like him even better.
Ooh.
So we did the Witcher season 3. There was this very specific fight where he beats up a lot of soldiers in the woods. Because you remember that one?
I haven't seen that season.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen. So yeah. Anyways, and it was like a couple of days of shooting, like intense fights, all that. Like we had horrible fucking costumes. The most uncomfortable they were not when we're moving, when we're playing dead, because you're playing dead and it's like we have all this armor, like this like a golden armor, but it's like hard plastic, and you just lie and you have like this thing in your fucking throat and this like that, and you're just like, oh, come on. And then you just kind of try to adjust yourself, and then someone comes, oh, no, you should be in this position. You're like, fuck you. Because they like continuity
people. They're doing continuity. They're making sure that some fucking Swedish nerd isn't gonna make a video essay about that.
They're the most annoying fucks. Oh no, I didn't say that. They're lovely people. They do their job. I think the most annoying fucks were the COVID people. When we did Napoleon, I worked in Napoleon as well, and then after every take we had to put the mask back.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently COVID doesn't work when cameras are on.
Okay, that's...
Wait! Fuck, I need to learn those buttons someday. And Henry's story. So, then we had a lunch break. Most of the stunt guys went to like different spots in the woods, somewhere like eating. And I kind of stayed by myself in like one space. Like someone brought me food. I was just sitting eating. And Henry, by himself, sat on his little like seat. He had a little seat and he's just eating food. And he can hear from behind, there's like bit like a rustling noise. And there was a makeup lady. She was pushing her like a makeup trolley. So there's like a bunch of makeup on it. I think she was like a makeup artist for like extras and stuff. So she had a lot of stuff. And as he heard her, he got up, took his chair, and he's like, oh yeah, please go. Like, cause he was kind of on the way. But she could easily go around him. There was not like, there's the only option to go. But and you just see there's no one around. And I was like, Henry, you're such a dude, and like for me, while also like doing all the fight choreos, whatever with you, he's such a sweetheart. It's like the nicest guy. Like, so,
it's always nice to hear that about people you look up to.
100%. And that's the issue is like, when they say like, you shouldn't meet your, what they call them,
your heroes,
your heroes and stuff. And so far, I think I had maybe one time, but that wasn't a hero. That was just, I knew like a big person, and it was just like annoying, whatever. But most like Samuel L. Jackson, like when I worked with him, he was like such a dude, like just like hanging out with everyone, like it's cool. Ryan Reynolds, like with him, had a little interaction, cool guy. But again, one of the things what I think is like, do they just full on play the good guy? Because they know that if one person sees, that's going to go around.
They're kind of always being watched when they're that famous.
Exactly. Yeah. With Dwayne Johnson was crazy when we did Hobbs and Shaw. He was so nice, so nice, so nice. It's just like, but again, I was like, what if I would get you in a situation where you just see your true colors? One of those things, but it's like...
Did you try pulling a makeup cart through where he was eating?
Yeah, he just sneezed and I flew away. So where were we? So your upbringing, traveling, knowing that you need something else in your life and stuff. So How old are you now?
I'm 30.
You're 30. Oh my God, so young. So you were 18 when you moved to Germany.
19.
19. So you stayed in Germany for how long?
Like 1.5 years.
And then go back to Sweden.
Yeah.
And then how long it took you to get out of Sweden again?
Yeah, I was there for like a little over 4 years.
Right.
And almost 5. Yeah. And then I thought that, I'm just going to take a little vacation to Bali, see something new.
Bali for you, it's been how long now?
I've been here for a little over 5 years.
Right. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, no, I had never been so far away before from my home country. So yeah, it was nice to see something new. And then I thought, Bali's kind of cool. I had that basic bitch journey of like coming here for vacation and then thinking I could stay here for a little longer.
Yeah.
And it's a very flirtatious relationship with the island. And then I come here and come back again. And I was like, I can do this for a few months. And then COVID hit like 2 weeks after I landed.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, shit. If I go back now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to travel or leave the country at all. So I'm just gonna stay a little while longer and a little while longer. And then it's 5 years later. I'm still here.
But wait, did you get stuck here after the just COVID started, or because I came here for the first time after the first COVID wave was over, like it was like 6 months, and then they finally opened the borders. But then I came here, and literally 2 weeks later they locked the borders again.
Right, they had these windows where you could enter. Yeah,
exactly.
I was right before the first sort of.
For the first one, yeah. So you were here just a little bit before me, okay? Because for me, I came here for 3 weeks, ended up being 7 months. 7 fucking months, man. I was like, what? And then like anyone I was talking in the UK, like, oh, it's still COVID. It's still like you can't work. And whatever. What's the point? What am I going to do there?
Yeah.
So we're just like, fuck it, I'll stay here.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny how they were so insistent, like, oh, everybody's got to go home. It's very important that you sign up for this and that. And, make sure you can get home. And I'm like, this is kind of nice, like, why would I want to go home when I can be here?
Well, but they were getting ready for the worst. That's the thing.
I guess so.
Whatever they're saying about like how things work out, but no one knew what the fuck is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you rather basically die with your family than you die somewhere in Indonesia. Well, that's kind of the thing. Like they felt like you were going to be safer in your own environment. But now, like, what is your perspective of where do you belong?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know.
Oh, what's your 5-year plan? I don't like that.
No. It's not even about.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I have like this what they call the identity crisis in a sense. Like I don't know where I like actually belong. You know, I do say like I'm from Latvia, but that's all there is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think here it's easy to have multiple crises all the time because people come and go, and things happen and then they stop happening and things like that. It's a very dynamic environment in that sense. And I think I'm really lucky that it's not all luck actually. It takes a bit of skill to craft like solid, authentic relationships and have like real friends,
Oh, yeah.
And well, the lucky part is that they don't all leave on Monday. There are actually some long-termers that are really solid people. So I feel very fortunate in that. But yeah, I guess I belong with the people who are a bit like me, but my tribe.
Your tribe.
Yeah. But that could also be somewhere else. So it's not really tied to this location. But I guess I'm pretty adaptable. Although, I mean, I have preferences too, so I couldn't be just about anywhere.
But as soon as like your work is not location depending, like then that's where just the freedom starts and stuff. Okay, let's talk about your fitness stuff, bro.
Yeah, bro. Fitness. Do you even lift, man?
Yeah, how much do you bench? So you started getting into fitness now. How long ago?
I started going to the gym sometime around 15 years old. I was introduced by some friend's dad or something. That was nice. I mean, it wasn't very ambitious or anything. And then I kind of took that up again at 18 or so. A friend of mine was pretty dedicated and was like really getting into it. And I just kind of hopped on, and he taught me a lot. And then I got really into powerlifting, like proper kind of powerlifting. And I joined a gym in my neighborhood that just so happened to have like a few European champions training in it. And it's such a loving, supporting community. And I learned so much from that about like strength, like raw power. And then when I moved to Bali, I kind of slipped out of that. But yeah, I started playing other sports like football and badminton and all kinds of things, you know, that you do here. And then I started getting injured because I'm playing all these different sports. And so I had to get into functional fitness. And I started playing ultimate frisbee as well. And that's when I really realized that all this powerlifting don't mean nothing if you don't have the joints for all this hard running and all the things that you can do, right? So ultimate frisbee really punished me into shape. So yeah, I got into shape playing that and got into functional training as well. So now that's basically what I do, and I feel like I've learned so much from that, and I feel like other people learn a lot from that around me because I train with other like people who are also athletes in their own sports, and by like assessing what they want, I can try new things with them, and I think we all learn a lot.
And it's interesting. So you were not the athletic type since you were a kid.
Not really. I was very average at everything. I did love like sports, and I always partook in everything, but I was always super average. Yeah.
But would you be like playing football? Would you be doing like basketball, a little bit of this, a little of that?
Yeah, I did football as a kid, and then I did focus more on a sport called uni hockey or floorball, which is like ice hockey but on a plastic floor.
It's not even a field hockey.
Not field hockey. That's different. Yeah, so that's floor. Like hard equipment, but plastic equipment, plastic floor. And it looks like ice hockey, but indoors.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the ball is like round and like...
Swedes are massive in ice hockey. What the hell, man? Why didn't you play ice hockey?
My parents didn't want me to because it was really expensive. You know, growing boy, you gotta get new equipment every year.
That's true.
And I also did not have... I never was interested in like physical sports or combat sports, you know? So even though like I could have maybe built myself into... Like
because you're a big boy. How tall are you?
183.
183, and how much do you weigh now?
86.
86. I think we were like, it was so funny. Me and our mutual friend, we had a bet about like how much does the Edwin weight?
I can't remember that.
And I said it has to be at least 110. Because you sat on my lap, and I thought my leg is gonna break. And then she found out he's only 86, and you're literally 4 kilos more than me.
Okay.
How the fuck? You're like 2 heads taller than me.
It's all in the bum, bro. It's all
no. When say like you are taller, and then you should be much heavier than me, I think.
You're pretty
I'm tiny. Look at me.
I don't know. I mean, my arm looks like little toothpicks next to yours.
Stop it. You see, I just wanted to get that compliment out of you.
He was fishing for it all along.
Exactly. So and then you with the fitness, I see you do some videos. You want to get more into it. It's just like kind of creating like extra content. What would you say is your focus on what you want to expose people to and like help them to understand about fitness?
Yeah, that's a great question. I kind of like to perpetuate the things that inspire me. And so for me, it's currently functional fitness and strengthening. So strength, conditioning, and joint health and
I like the functional fitness. What the fuck is dysfunctional fitness?
I guess that's just like an umbrella term to talk about, like mobility, stability, and preventing injuries and things like that. So mobility became a big deal for me after I started playing ultimate frisbee, because I realized that I'm just like rigid power lifter and I don't have any joints to speak of. It's all power, you know, and that's not very good for moving around. So when I'm running next to all these like light, zippy people like going all over the place, I'm like a cruise ship trying to turn next to them. I'm like, I can't keep up with you guys. And I was constantly injured. So I had to solve that problem somehow.
Cool. And it's cool that you going like with the kind of challenges what you had, and just try to help other people to get over those things as well. Because for me, growing up, I never been attracted, or I never understood the gym guys. I never understood the gym bros. Like, what is like, I can push, I can do this. Like, for me, it was like, can you run quick and kick that ball in there? Can you do a backflip? Can you climb that tree? That is, for me, that is a fitness.
Right.
It's never been, also the aesthetic stuff. Like, I don't give a fuck how you look like. Can you do this trick? Can you do, it's like the application.
Like performance.
Exactly. Oriented. Like, what can you do with that body of yours, you know?
Yeah. And also playing multiple sports is good, especially for children. Having, like developing a brain with multiple sort of specialties, if it's kicking a ball with your feet and then racket sports or something, makes you better at both sports actually.
Yeah, and like the same like basketball, the reaction, you catch the ball and stuff like that is, again, a martial artist can use it. And I would say I'm a huge believer in jack of all trades and master of none. Yeah. Just do a little bit of everything. Learn how to juggle, learn how to do this, learn how to do that.
That's me in a nutshell. I was always like that.
There you go. Hey, have you learned how to juggle?
Yeah, I can do 3 balls. That doesn't count.
No, it does, because I can do only 3 balls.
There you go.
I never had the patience for like to get the more stuff in. And also, like, you're someone who is like so into like film industries and whatever. Like, are there some certain aspects what you're like curious about and what maybe I know something about it?
Yeah, no, actually, I am curious about the production side of big productions. And so I love these little tidbits about Henry Cavill or Cavill or however you pronounce his name. And
it's kind of good old Henry.
What is the most like challenging situation you found yourself in on set, whether it's like during filming or
I think it's the biggest one to deal with the cast when you like they're so unpredictable. I think one of the for me I was worked on Enola Holmes.
It's scripted though, so they shouldn't be unpredictable.
I know. Yeah, go with that thought. I worked on Enola Holmes with Millie Bobby Brown. I had to fight, which is like this super famous actress.
You had a fight with her?
Yeah, with her. And the best part was that they supposed to rehearse that fight with her a couple of days before, coming in with like the stunt department and stuff. She comes over and she's like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to rehearse. I got it. I know it. And then on the day, stunt coordinator comes to me and it's like, listen, you have fight with her, but she doesn't know her fight. Good luck. So and he's like, you know, that's this. And I said, listen, I will tell her like, let's go through the beats. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to what can I do with you? Like, you know, but there was a very interesting moment. That fight was next to Helena Bonham Carter, who is playing her mother in the film. And Helena Bonham Carter, obviously, like, hallelujah, she's an amazing lady. And Millie felt like, oh, I want to look good next to her, right? I want to, you know, and then that was a motivation for her to get her shit together and learn that fight. And she did really good. Millie, you know, if anyone is going to watch this or hear this, Millie did really good. She learned the fight very quick and everything was fine. It's like, and I wasn't treating her anymore, anything like, oh my God, you know, I was just like, you know, we are here to work, you know, let's get this shit done. But yeah, that could also turn very differently. That could be like,
yeah, that could mess up the whole schedule.
Exactly. Like, we're not going to do this or whatever. And, so with the cast, we have to be very careful, like, you know, and on the same day, like one of the stunt guys got punched by the other cast in the face, like, and I think broke his nose and he was bleeding. He's like this the older stunt guy who I know for ages. He's super lovely guy. He just like, oh, it happens, you know, like whatever. And then that lady was walking around, oh, my hand. I was like, you just fucking smashed it in his face. He's oh, my hand. Yeah, but in general, what else? Like, nothing really stands out, to be fair. Like, it's in the UK, it's very different to work because like the health and safety is really high level. Rehearsals are really thought through. People know what they do most of the time. Like on Vikings, I remember there was sometimes would be crazy that we don't have much rehearsals, and there's like, okay, just fight in the background. Go fight in the background, yeah.
Okay.
And then you just find someone. Oh, funny story was
find someone to fight them.
Yeah, funny story was that different days you become different army. So one day I was playing a Russian guy, like the Rus when they were the season 6, and then another day I would be playing a Viking. So I totally forgot that I'm playing Viking now, and I go get one of the guys I used to like. We had some choreo together. I was like, "Come on, let's fight." And he's like, "Dude, we're in the same army, you idiot." Stuff like that. Also in Vikings was funny when we like jumped off of these boats when we have to strike and go fight Vikings, and I was playing the Russian guy, and we had the malfunction in our costumes. We had these like baggy trousers where it literally went all the way to your ankles, so your ass is out and you're like running like to your ankles trousers on the beach because we were getting out of the boat and it gets wet, right? So it gets very heavy, and this like whatever we had, this elastic band didn't hold it and it just fell fucking down. And I think for me it's been more like there's a funny bits, and those are the funny bits which I do remember more than like if there was some like a very dangerous or difficult moments. And if it is difficult, it's mainly politics. It's like you said something, someone's heard it, blah blah blah, and I have a massive mouth, and I say sometimes what I think, and I get in trouble.
Yeah, do you tend to get in trouble?
I think I had some close calls. I don't think I got like trouble, but yeah.
You had some slaps on the wrist.
But it mainly like from my own department. Like it never went to like really bad.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Well, how did you? I mean, you may have talked about this before, but like, how would you get into this?
It's
you gotta know people, or you sign up somewhere.
Yeah, I was just exposed to guys who were training for the British Register. So they were in United Kingdom. There's a organization called BSR or British Register. And then you need to do 6 disciplines to qualify, and then you qualify. And I was in this gymnastics space where I was training, doing my thing. I was at the time was performing on a pole. I was doing pole acrobatics. I was not pole dancing. I was pole acrobat. Okay. So I was there doing training, and then I saw some guys just like doing some stuff which is like doesn't look like they should be doing it. And it's like someone tries to do rings and you see they never done rings, or like like a high bar or polar bars. And I literally came over to one guy and I asked like, I'm such an idiot. I came over and said like, listen, you keep doing this every day. You're really shit at it.
Oh, okay.
Why are you doing it? Because usually people who go and do those things, they're pros. They're like someone with a gymnastics background, and they just go and do their like, because they used to do it, whatever. You rarely see some newbies, but in a quite developed age, like let's say like they're 30s almost, and they're trying to do handstands on the parlor bars. So that was suspicious for me. And I was like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh yeah, we're training for the register, and one of the disciplines is gymnastics. And so they have to do certain elements. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I found out more about it. And then what do you need to do? How much it costs and all that stuff. And I was like, I was just about turning 30. And I thought that would be a cool challenge, you know? And I thought, I'm not getting any younger. Fuck it, let's go.
Okay. Oh, wow. So there's still hope for me. I can still become a stuntman.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, like we had some guys becoming stuntmen when they're 40 something and even 50. But like it does help when you have a background of something, like let's say you're a horseman or you're like a driver or something. For them, it's much easier to get. Like also ex-military people, a lot of ex-military guys. Someone who's been doing like special forces for like 15 years.
They know how to move in a fight.
Yeah, they come in and they need to do those disciplines which they've never maybe done, which is challenging. But then they usually get hired as like a military advisor, or they got hired like because they know exactly how they would move tactically and how they would operate the all the equipment and all the weapons.
There's some blockbusters out there that really could use advisors like that. Like
100%.
I see so many movies lately where it's literally just like a horde of two sides, just like two hordes running at each other. And you're like, you don't have to read a lot of history books to know that that's not how warfare works.
But you see that is very interesting concept. It's like, I wish there would be some kind of a guidebook or something that would say this is the way it used to be, and like a lot of normal people would know that, right? So so they would be like, yeah, but this doesn't look accurate to da. Only like someone who's really done their research and like being proper nerds and whatever. But also like, how often do you actually see a proper tactical movement? How in forces they do the references you have is to some movies.
Yeah.
You know, most of the some kind of a big war movies or whatever, like you see how they move and stuff, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is how it should be. No, it's most likely again someone thought that this is how it should be, and then maybe they didn't have military advisor done. Nowadays, it's quite strict on any decent production. They're gonna have a proper military advisor, not only military but also like armorers and stuff who the tactical kind of advisors. Then they teach you about all the movements and stuff. I've done a couple courses with that, and now we have a really cool course where we have one stunt guy who is already 7-8 years working as a stunt performer, and he has like 27 years under his belt of like forces and stuff. So what he does, he combines what we need for cameras and how to sell this stuff and how it is it properly to move tactically according to and they would say like according to American army, according to a British army. Of course, there's a huge difference. Well, I won't say huge, but there is a difference.
Right, yeah.
How they move and stuff, and how Russians move. I don't know. So, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, but I can also see why they would like make it more sort of flamboyant, the movements, because like a lot of warfare is just like hiding behind your friend's shield and then poking at someone with a spear, and that's not really sexy.
Exactly.
And it takes hours and hours and hours for battles to play out like that, and you change people out. No, you want the main protagonist with a sword, no shield, just hacking at an opponent.
Yeah.
Big wild movements.
And you know, like movies, like the old school movies fucked it up a lot for the future movies was like Commando. You know, it's just a guy who just shoots 150 people. Anywhere he shoots, people fall. Come on.
And when the enemy shoots at him,
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You can roll across the floor, it's fine.
Yeah. and then Cobra comes out, also shoots many people with a match in his mouth. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, to me, I like kind of, I can appreciate what like, I just rewatched Old Guard. And there was like a lot of tactical movements and stuff. And like some of my mates who I know from stunts, they worked in it. But honestly, when I look at it, I don't give a fuck. If you have like this big thing, like you shouldn't be putting a finger on your trigger or whatever. It has to be on the side and all this stuff. Like, I don't care. Because like this is kind of person I am. I more care about the monologue, the like interaction with like the evil character, the good character, like what how they can they sell their emotions. That's what I give a fuck about, right? But again, like we're different people. We pay attention to different things.
Pay attention to different things. There are different thresholds for when we start getting annoyed. Like I guess because I do work with this, like kind of looking at inconsistencies. So I'm a little bit damaged in that sense, maybe. But the sort of trigger thing, that might trigger me, but it might not trigger you, for example. I think one thing that I do get really annoyed with is, this is a really common thing that I see all the time, is when they draw a bow and then they just stand there and hold it and threatening, like, oh, we're going to shoot you, and holding the bow. And you're like, you're not holding like, it doesn't work like that. You would be too tired to hold it for that long. And so you don't draw a bow without actually immediately shooting it, right? Yeah. So anyone who has actually shot with a bow and arrow would know that.
Speaking of bow and arrow, I actually watched the video where you were saying like, why they're saying fire, they should be saying
loose.
Yay!
Yeah, medieval lingo is important.
It's such a nerd.
That's where the continuity people should step in and do their damn job. I mean,
but dude, it sounds so shit when you say instead of fire, you say this.
No, but they did that. They did that before, back when they took themselves seriously.
I know. I think I worked in one of the productions where we're like shooting arrows and stuff, and we did say loose as well.
Knock, draw, loose, not fire.
Yeah. How loose are you? That's my brain goes. Crazy. Okay, so what is the future? What is future holding for you?
Yeah, I'm trying to optimize my process for making more videos, and I would love to be able to talk about even more things related to storytelling and pop culture and things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, hope to finish and publish my books. And I hope to engage and employ people who are also creative like me and who genuinely want to create stuff from the bottom of their heart, not from the bottom of their wallet.
Hey, wow, the way you just said it. But what do you think about our future in the sense of like, what's going on with the writers? Like, we get better writers, we get worse writers, we don't get any writers. What is going on with that thing? Because now, especially when you see that youth is going to be living and growing on ChatGPT, like write an essay about this and this, and then it just essays there. I'm getting lazy also with ChatGPT. I write something which is, and I never could write. That's my problem. Like my grammar is always horrible. I think I'm kind of dyslexic. Since I was a kid, I would struggle to write in Latvian, in English, and Russian, any language, right? As soon as I have to open my mouth and speak to someone, I'm fine. Right. You know, you can understand what I'm saying. But like that connection is fine with me, verbal. But as soon as I need to write it, I'm just like, And as a kid, I used to read out loud for a long time. And my dad was like, dude, you need to learn how to read to yourself. You can't just like, but now it's like even, full grown ass adult. Very often I would read out loud because I also like to practice my like a verbal abilities and pronounce and enunciate and all these kind of things, right? It's a great training.
Yeah.
But also it definitely sings better in my head when I say them out loud.
Yeah. Do you know what I do? I don't actually read books. I listen to audiobooks.
Okay.
My eyes get really tired from reading. And what I tend to do is when I drive, I listen to audiobooks or whenever else, and I like to voice act the characters, and that's not because the narrator is doing a bad job or anything. It's just fun to be like to immerse myself that way, and just like kind of lean into like, oh, what does this person sound like, and just say the lines of the characters in the book, and that kind of makes it more immersive and more memorable for me as well.
That is, I totally agree. I do way more audiobooks now than I read. I struggle to even read like 10 pages a day. It's not about, what's my ADHD. People use that excuse a lot of times, but mainly I'm just like kind of, I read before I go to bed because I know I'm going to fall asleep like this.
There you go. Yeah.
But listening, yes, it's great, but it really depends who is reading, who is a narrator. Man, I've got some boring ass narrators. You just want to, I don't know. And it's a good book.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
I hate that.
It's the worst.
Blah, blah, blah. Renars podcast.
Okay, we are back. This is our final third part. Are you excited?
I am. What the hell is that all about?
So now you can be a movie character. I knew you're gonna like it. Okay, so what character you think you could be with this voice?
Ooh, I'm either in some kind of drug-related documentary.
Just cover your eyes as well with that little like.
Yeah, it's like all shadows and stuff. Yeah, or I'm like a demon of some kind. Like.
Right. What about the Cookie Monster?
Cookie Monster? Does he sound like that?
Yeah, he's a cookie.
Cookie. Oh yeah, that's right. Cookie.
What about the Guardians of Galaxy? Who speaks like that?
I don't know. Who speaks like that?
I am Groot.
I am Groot. That's right.
Yeah, trust me, I've done it with many people. I know all the ones. My other favorite ones is they actually Autobots roll out.
Autobots roll out? Where's that from?
It's from Transformers.
I haven't seen Transformers.
No.
I haven't, sorry.
Okay, just say Autobots roll out.
Autobots roll out.
Okay, we're done with that. You haven't seen Transformers? What the fuck, dude? What kind of cave did you grow up?
No, yeah.
I like that when people get together and they're like, "Oh, you haven't seen this?" Yeah. So they can't believe that they seen something and the other ones wouldn't see. Like, it's just so amazing. And then it goes backwards the same way.
Yeah.
Like, right back to you with this. What is probably the most unusual, would you say, movie? What unusual movie would you think like people should watch, but no one watched it?
That people should watch that nobody watches.
Did you think it's fucking like just amazing?
Well, one of my favorite movies ever is The Father from...
I know, I started watching it yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Oh, very good.
How is that one of your favorite movies? I'm like really trying to figure this out.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean,
we'll talk about it later when we get to the movies.
I see.
Okay, so so you say no, but we need the. Okay, let's just talk about movies and fuck it. So so I usually ask my guests 3 favorite books, 3 favorite people, 3 favorite movies. I try, if I have time, to look into them. And so you mentioned Father. So with Anthony Hopkins, I started watching it. And I watched maybe like 20 minutes and my computer froze and I couldn't watch it anymore. But as I understand, it's about the guy who's suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
And it's really scary because we probably all of us going to get there someday. And that's, for me, was just to watch also like how you see that pain in his daughter. And she's like, what the fuck I do now? And like, there's one point where she thought like, I'm just gonna maybe, kill him or whatever in his sleep, because his faculties are gone basically, you know? And that's very scary stuff. But yeah, that's as far as I got.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I just love that movie for that perspective. Like you see the people around him from his perspective. So essentially the actors in the movie switch out. Yeah. So his daughter is like 2 or 3 different people at different occasions. And sometimes she's married and sometimes she's not. And it's like, so you're really in there with this demented person. Yeah. And I just think that it's very tasteful, the way they've executed it. And it's really like you're trying to navigate this situation together with him. And that's really well done.
Very interesting choice. And I really like when I have guests who just give me some of these movies I never heard of. Yeah. Like, and it's like, I think one of my favorite examples is like, I had this one guest who suggested one of his favorite films is a film called Jewel. Okay. With one of the first or maybe very first films done by Spielberg. And that's the film what put Spielberg's name on the map. And that movie is incredible in sense like, it's only like 3 actors, is like one main cast, one guy, and this interaction between this truck driver who we never see and a guy who just drives normal car, and this truck driver basically fucks with him all the time. So he's on the road, he has this like long ass trip to somewhere he needs to get, and this truck driver in the very beginning, the first interaction what they had, it's in front of him but goes very slow, right? This guy, okay, I'll take it over, takes it over. As he takes it over, a couple of minutes later, he starts pushing him. He starts speeding up. So the guy in the car sees the truck is like speeding up and about to smash him in the back. And he's speeding up now. And now he realized he goes super fast. And then what the fuck do I do? Oh, right. And like he almost felt like, and then this truck driver was fucking with him for ages. And they never showed who the guy is there. Oh. The suspense was incredible. Wow. Like, cause they were like, the guy just gets out of the truck and you see his boots. Like these snake leather, whatever, crocodile boots, but they never show the face, and the guy is just freaking out. And crazy movie. And I was like, wow. So that's one of the reasons why I do this. Why I ask people, because hopefully, if I have time, I can watch it, and then we can exchange with like how we see things. That's one stuff. But in general, I learn about other stuff. Just like Never Ending University.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I'm a little bit like that with book recommendations. Right. Yeah. Love a good book recommendation.
Good book, and roll in my couch with a cup of coffee.
Tea. Yeah.
Tea. So what did I want to show you? Did I want to show you something? No, I already forgot. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to see the list. Sorry. So other books. Can you remind me the books? Yeah. So that's films. Sorry. Westworld, that's the one you mentioned a couple of times already, yeah? Season 1. Yeah. Okay, what is it about? I haven't heard of it.
Oh my God, have you not seen Westworld? Ooh, you're in for a treat. So, Westworld's actually a TV series, but it's essentially a 10-hour movie. And it's an incredible sort of exploration that is both philosophical and like existential and a lot of other things. And it has great action scenes and romance. It's just like a complete package. Basically, it's like a big national park, which is kind of like a theme park for cowboys. And so the visitors who go there, they immerse themselves in this cowboy world. But all the actors who are the cowboys and the Indians and whatever else, they are actually robots. And so this is like in the future where robots are so realistic that you couldn't really tell who's a human and who's a robot. And that's kind of where everything starts, because they're so sophisticated, these AI robots, that you have to start to wonder, are they maybe conscious?
Wow.
You know? And so that's kind of the question that the whole thing revolves around. And you get to follow this one robot on a journey that just is very, very authentic and real. And then ultimately she realizes that she's not real. And, and you're right there with her and you're like, but I feel like she's real, and she's been through all these things and I care about those things. And, she is real for me. That's not really a spoiler. There are some real cool plot twists in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's established early on that she is a robot, so that's not the plot twist. But yeah, so it just covers so much ground. It's philosophical, existential, and it's really, really good dialogue. Anthony Hopkins is also in that. He tends to pick the good ones, and he does an incredible job. But it really isn't about acting performances or visuals or anything like that, although it is stunning to look at as well. But yeah, the writing is super solid. It's incredible. The rewatch value is so high. Like it can be a little overwhelming. Like when I first watched this, I was probably like 17 years old or something, a little bit older. But yeah, anyway, so I didn't really get everything on the first watch because it's so deep, it's so philosophical and all that stuff. So it took me like 2 or maybe even 3 watches before I fully grasped all the themes that they explored and all the messages and how everything sort of made sense, what they were trying to tell me. But yeah, incredible. Yeah, production.
Talking about the park and stuff, have you heard the Yellowstone TV series?
I have, yeah. I've been meaning to see that.
I mean, Joe Rogan cannot stop talking about it. He was like, Yellowstone is so good, man. It's with Kevin Costner. Is it?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, Kevin Costner. And I watched some of it. Pretty decent. Again, like, do we have time to watch all the TV series? There's so many. Back in the days, films were like a big deal and they were so little and they were like super special occasion. Now, as we said, they just like stamp them, like just next. And then we had En man som heter Ove. What the hell is that?
Okay, so yeah, this is a film from Sweden, obviously.
How do you say it?
En man som heter Ove.
En man som heter Uwe.
En man som heter Uwe.
Oh my god.
Yeah. En man som heter Uwe. It's there's actually an American remake of this with Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay.
And it's called A Man Called Otto.
I watched it.
You watched that?
Twice.
Way.
I watched it twice.
Okay.
I fucking loved it. Oh my god. And this is originally it's a Swedish movie done by Swedish directors and written by wow.
Yeah. And it's an adaptation from a Swedish book.
That is so cool.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure that when that film came out, it won Best Foreign Film that year at the Oscars as well.
Right.
So
it would be cool to see the Swedish version.
Yeah. From what I could see I did watch the remake, the American one with Tom Hanks, and I was like, yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
But I really like that kind of interaction. The guy who just tries to kill himself and never can because someone needs something like, oh, you need my lighter. Oh, you need this now. I'm trying to kill myself, bro. Come on.
And then suddenly he finds himself as somebody who is needed.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That freaking cat was like bothering him all the time.
Yeah.
Because he just came out in this garage and he's like, shh, go away. And next thing you know, it's in a house and like that's it. It's home. Because it almost died. It got frozen to death or something, that cat, and they brought it in and it's like...
Right, I don't know if that's in the original version. Maybe that's... I don't know.
But it's a very cool concept and Tom Hanks plays really good grumpy man. Maybe that's his true himself. Okay, that's movies. That is movies. And then what about like, are you a fan of like historical stuff? Are you a fan of, because I think like when someone says to me like, what is your, movie? I would say probably like Saving Private Ryan or something. I would say Shawshank Redemption or something. It's like, because, those are the films where it really kind of makes that kind of a pivot about something, I guess.
Yeah, like to be immersed in a different era entirely. Yeah. I do love those sort of things.
Yeah, because it's also like gives you like this shows that value of how lucky we are, the way we live and the way we have choices and the way we just not, it's like also the other one was Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh yeah.
What's the director's name? The crazy guy. The one who played Braveheart, actor.
Mel Gibson. Good job.
And he was directing this one, and also like Mel Gibson's Apocalyptic. Have you seen that one?
No,
you have to watch it. If you're movie buff and stuff, like you have to check it out. So basically, when I saw it first time, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And then I also saw the interview with Mel Gibson, was telling one of the reasons how he was, or why he created the apocalyptic, because he said, I want something where word doesn't really matter. Well, the language doesn't really exist. And so all these people, they speak their own language and there's just little subtitle, whatever. There's not much of like a dialogue and whatever, but it's emotions. It's all of like these feelings, like how one of their tribesmen gets killed in front of them and stuff like that. And it's like, oof, really good. So
that sounds interesting. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah. So books, Sapiens. We've read that one like 3 times.
You're basically talking about the essential difference between humans and other animals.
Yeah.
Is that we are able to describe ideas or to communicate ideas.
Yeah.
Whereas other animals can certainly signal things like, oh, there's a danger, or even more specifically a crocodile maybe, by making sounds, but they can't really communicate ideas like, what would you do if you lived in another country? They can't have those conversations.
Yeah.
They can talk about what is, essentially, but we can communicate on a more abstract level. Right. We can organize ourselves through this ability. And that's why we dominate the earth, essentially.
Yeah, and the other one was, I think, again, this might be coming from Sapien, maybe not, but one of the reasons why humanity evolved in such a rapid way was because we could focus and be very proficient on our specialities.
Yeah.
So instead of like, I'm a farmer and I do everything, whatever, like this and this and this, but then, oh no, I'm an herbsman now. So we start kind of identifying where you're going to go. Specialization, yeah. So because of the specialization, that's going to improve the growth and development much faster.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, now I'm saying I'd rather be a jack of all trades.
No, but I actually, this is the big, in a way, the big tragedy with our species too, in a sense. This specialization enables us to, transcend out of our natural state of being. Mm-hmm. And so I think a big takeaway that I get from Sapiens is that maybe the key to happiness is not to be the most productive species, and maybe a hunter-gatherer was, in the end, even if they only lived for 35 years, maybe they had a more sort of fulfilling life if they got to, canoe down the stream, hunt for berries, pick mushrooms and stuff like that.
Hands up.
Die!
I hunted some berries tonight.
Wow.
I think I will get some sexy tongue, yeah.
Well, yeah. So
I hunted some berries tonight.
I think the roles should be reversed here.
I only can do one way, sorry.
Essentially that maybe by sort of exploring all these sides of nature, we explore all the sides of ourselves. And that is more fulfilling in the end for an individual than a specialized individual who goes to the office to do the same thing. Every single day for their life.
So is that some kind of a genetical thing that just say that we as humans, we need variety? I would say and it's everywhere. If you think about the same thing when you were talking about the sports, if you just lift that one weight all the time, so you neglecting other things, what you can do with your body. And my philosophy, which I want to actually hear your opinion about this, and I keep saying about this, I think about our bodies as, imagine a wooden stick. If you take a wooden stick and you hit against this microphone metal side, and if you just hit in one spot, it's going to break quite soon. Right. But if you hit it like here and there, and you even that impact the whole stick around, it's gonna be not gonna break for a much longer time, basically. Right. So I think that our bodies are very similar in a sense. If you only do gymnastics, if only you just do tumbling and do this and this and this, your body's gonna break at some point, like because you're applying stress on your body. Just those. The same thing if you just do BJJ. The same thing if you just do powerlifting, know. So I believe we should be doing this and that, a little bit of this, a little bit of strength, a little bit of speed, So that is my philosophy.
Yeah, I actually completely agree with that. I had a friend of mine recently tell me that, and he was talking about injuries, physical injuries, that sometimes you can view the body, and especially the injured area, as like a rubber band. So if you have like a little cut in the rubber band, or really like a worn down part of the rubber band, when you start to stretch the band, it's that sort of injured part, or the cut part, that is going to take the majority of the load. You know?
Interesting, yeah.
So you got to make sure that the rubber band is equally sort of strong all over.
Well, that's also going to the weakest chain
the weakest link, exactly.
Weakest link is going to break, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's true. And as soon as there's a one weak link, the rest of the body goes to shit. As a good example was like, I remember I injured my foot maybe 2 years ago, and I was kind of ignoring it, as I sometimes do. And I went like, I did some, just skipping. I was warming up to do some martial arts, some bag stuff, whatever. And as I was skipping, I could feel that I'm not really sending my body up because of my foot is fucked.
Right.
Next thing I can feel it in my hip. Next thing I can feel it in my lower back. And I'm like, yeah. And then I tweaked my lower back and couldn't walk properly for a couple of days. And it's like, yeah. And also like anytime I feel like I'm injured, I need to take it easy, I just go swim. I choose something. I still can do amazing cardio and everything, but you know, don't do impact, do something else.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Okay. So that's Sapiens. Then A Game of Thrones. Oh my God, who knew? A Game of Thrones is one of your favorite books.
Surprise.
By the way, how many books are there in Game of Thrones?
There are 5 published books in the series.
Right.
The series is called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Of course.
That's the name of the whole series, yeah. So the books have a
Song
different
of
name.
Eisenhower?
Eisenhower.
Breaking Bad is back. Mr. Eisenhower. Was it his name? No. What was his name?
That's an American president.
No.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg. Come on. It was so simple. I was so close. Shut up. Eisenhower sounds cooler, though. Heisenberg. Yeah. He was Heisenberg, yeah?
What?
The in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But,
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, no, the Game of Thrones books, the first 2, I would say, are exceptionally well written. The third, fourth, and fifth are like, it's hard to follow such good writing, right? And especially the fourth and fifth, they tend to be criticized by many readers as quite meandering, actually. And it introduces a whole bunch of new stuff, and you're like, this is already a really huge story. Do you really need to introduce all these new characters and like all these new storylines? And I think that is probably a big reason why the last 2 books of the series have not been published yet, because it's just really difficult to tie in all of these this enormous story.
Have you followed so what's the name of the writer?
George R.R. Martin.
It's just one person who's basically behind the whole Game of Thrones concept.
That's what they say, yeah.
Yeah. So have you heard listened to interviews with him, like how he got this inspiration, what inspired him to write this stuff?
Yeah.
How much stuff he smoked or injected in any other way?
He's a very vibesy writer by the looks of it. And so he kind of works on the projects he enjoys. And so I think he takes long breaks between writing the Game of Thrones books, even though they're highly anticipated by everyone. But yeah, and he also gets a lot of work, unfortunately, for us who want to see the book come out eventually. So he's been working on like video games and other fantasy stuff and TV series and things. So he's kind of a busy guy, and he's also old. So like if I were old like that, I'd probably also just kind of enjoy my work while I can. And if I don't enjoy writing the books right now, then I'll just do that later. Yeah, I'll probably do the same thing. He also has this approach to his stories as being more of a gardener and less of an architect. So he kind of sets things in motion, and then he just lets them happen the way he imagined that they would naturally.
In a natural way, yeah.
And I think that's a really great way to immerse readers, and it's a really great way to develop characters. But at some point, you are in charge of the sort of purpose of the story and to create meaning as a writer, in my opinion. And so you do have to maybe trim the hedges a lot more than to merely sort of water the garden. You know, you got.
That's so interesting. Like someone who is just doing their thing from their soul and like, this is my baby. And then you get so many other people who's like, no, you should do this. You should be like that. And you should be, that is very tough. You can imagine how many like opinions he would have, you know, directed his way, like, oh, why do you this and what? And some, and then
please make this happen.
And dude, I'm very sure that there's some crazy fans out there.
Man. I actually made a whole video about this. You can go watch it if you want. My theory as to why I think the books have not been published yet. And I talk about how, his gardening approach, as well as, you know, how there's probably like a million theories about what should happen, and how hard it must be to not be influenced by everybody's freaking theories. And also you have the disappointment of the TV show. How do you navigate that?
Jeez,
how do you make sure the books aren't disappointing?
That's
like
a can of worm right there. Okay. And the last book is The Road.
The Road.
Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah.
The Roads. I thought like you didn't finish the sentence. It was The Road Less Traveled. I know that book.
This one is just The Road.
Just The Road. The Father, The Road. You just like those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. No, The Road is a classic, of course, to people who know about that. It's a post-apocalyptic setting. So you don't really know exactly what happened, but the world ended in some kind of nuclear holocaust, probably. Or
the world ended because the Game of Thrones never came out.
Yeah, that's probably like, George, get on it already.
Press the button.
And there are like mutants or something in that world. It's been a while since I read it, so but the details don't matter. It's all about this relationship between a man who is traveling with a child. And I don't remember if it's his own child, but it doesn't really matter. So it's a young boy and an older man. A little bit like The Last of Us, but much better. And so you kind of get this man's perspective on this child who's grown up in this post-apocalyptic world, and you know, you get the pre-apocalyptic perspective versus this post-apocalyptic perspective, and how deeply the man cares for the child, and it's extremely intimate. Like Cormac McCarthy is very, very good at writing intimate sort of stories and perspectives. So it's very captivating. I highly recommend.
Cool, guys, check it out. The Road.
The Road.
So we just didn't talk about people, right? The last one we had. Okay, so Alt Shift X, bro. What is that? What do you mean? I was just trying to figure out. What is Alt Shift X?
Alt Shift X. So Alt Shift X is the daddy of Game of Thrones YouTubing. He's the guy, I think he's from New Zealand or something. And he kind of kickstarted the whole kind of analysis kind of.
So he's like a pioneer for that.
He's kind of a pioneer in the Game of Thrones analysis genre. So I definitely take a lot of my inspiration from this person. He totally got me into it. And just like the way he presents things as very factual, but also very non-judgmental, and managed to do that and also speculate about what could be and what things mean. And it's very educational, really, and also entertaining and well presented.
Non-judgmental. That's like totally, you keep that way as well.
And that's the part of his influence that I completely threw out the window. I judge. Don't get me wrong. I judge.
Aaron Huggis. That's the man I met in your game circle.
That's right. Aaron Hughes.
Huggis. You would love it. Aaron, shout out to you, man. And I saw like his Instagram, like he's doing amazing work with the doggies. Wow, lovely guy.
Yeah, no, he's truly amazing, and I think totally worth bringing up in this kind of context of people. He really inspires me, and he not only brings awareness to like real things, like real issues, but he also like lives out the solution to the things that he is the difference you want to see in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
I love it.
Check him out. Sun and Sage is his Instagram.
Yeah, Sun and
Give
Sage.
that guy a follow. He rescues animals is what he does, and he does a really good job of that. Yeah.
And the last person we had, Ravish, freaking, I'm going to butcher the last name, Nahavadi.
Yeah.
Ravish Nahavadi. I didn't have a moment to check it out. Who is this person?
So he is an influencer on Instagram, fitness influencer, and he is like kind of into functional fitness, like I am, and rehab and prehab and things like that. And he's just like a no nonsense kind of guy. He is not sort of making content just for sensationalism or views or quick fixes. He actually just kind of, cuts to the chase, but he has a lot to say as well. And he makes truly useful content, I think. And I think he's the only person that I've seen on Instagram that I actually might consider like buying his course or membership to his services or whatever he provides, because he is really insightful and he does share a lot of useful things. Yeah,
this is a great also to lead to talk about what is your opinion regarding the trash content when we have so much of it,
brain rot,
and it just feels like, what is the best way to create some crazy filters? Just like on emails, when we have like we getting this email stuff, the spams, and the spam, and it just goes to the spam, and you never see that shit. What is the solution in just filtering out and saying like, I just want this kind of content, I don't want any of that stuff? Is there setups that you can just do on your Instagram or your YouTube, whatever, like you don't see any other crap? Is there a way to do it?
Yeah, don't engage with it. Because the algorithm gives you more of the things you engage with. Sometimes it takes time, but ultimately the algorithm is there to provide you with content to just grab your attention and make you spend as much time as possible on that platform. Yeah. Whether it's YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. I never got into TikTok personally, but I am using Instagram a lot. And so, eventually the Instagram algorithms realized what I am interested in. And so now I get all these like detailed fitness influencers giving actually useful advice. And I'm not getting whatever brain rot other stuff that I'm not really interested in.
True, but at the same time, just because you're interested in a certain area doesn't mean you're going to get a quality, good stuff in that area.
That's right.
You're just going to get whoever puts the hashtags and what is the area they represent. But I think what I'm trying to more say, let's say, in the fitness industry, like this is a great example. Like obviously, I look sometimes some good videos up. As soon as I start playing paddle, I would watch a couple paddle videos. Of course, I would have thousands.
And then you just could bombard with
them stuff. But now the question is like, out of those paddle videos, maybe out of 20, I would have one, which I think is a quality video. But then I need to go through all the rest of the crap and spend my time and get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
That is kind of like
I guess that is the price you pay for a well sort of suited feed in your social media platform.
And just compare that. I don't know if you remember that. I mean, we have 10 years difference, but like when I was a kid, we had 4 channels on TV.
Same. Yeah.
And that's fucking it.
Yeah.
Like, and then you want some extra information, go to library, get some newspapers, get magazines. Now it's like this.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it must be like growing up with that.
And it's also so good when we have this shit. It's so good we can find any information we want. The closest, the fastest. Like ChatGPT does it so easy.
Yeah.
Like back in the days, you literally would spend hours in library to try to find, and maybe that library wouldn't have that book.
Yeah.
And and then you have in Google, you find some. Oh, that's just so
and like
crazy.
the most reliable source of information you have is somebody's older brother, and he's like actually wrong.
Yeah.
But that's all you have to go on.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Do you worry about the AI development, like that soon? Once certain platforms become more established than others, that they're going to start feeding us like dubious information.
Well, that one is. I mean, it kind of. I'm worried, but one part of me is excited because, in a sense, I hope that we're just going to be like, okay, this is all just crazy. Let's just go back in the woods. Let's just live under the rock again. It's like. And now you see like people realize like the values of just being with nature, just doing all of that stuff. And I wish it would be more and more. But at the same time, I also pissed with myself is because I grew up in the countryside. I grew up in a house where we would have our pigs and cows and like we would have, but at the same time, very close to the town. Like we had like the best option because I grew up and I saw the both worlds, right?
Yeah.
And then I said to my mom that I never want to live where it's like farm and chicken and, you know, all that shit. And now I'm like, I would give everything to have that. But think about it. You go out and you have your own chicken, you have your fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a garden with everything. Like you can just, I would sometimes I would wake up in the morning and just have a bowl and just get some berries, get some stuff, and come home with full bowl with like all sorts of goodies, just freshly picked from my garden.
Wow.
And then I didn't appreciate it. Obviously, I wanted the Cocoa Pops. fuck the other like healthy tomatoes what I have. Like it's like, but obviously, you know, as a kid you'd understand that, and now it's like I want it back. Think about AI and all that shit. I don't know. It does look. We are going that way. That it feels like very often, you know, we might be controlled by that shit, and we already kind of controlled by that shit. If you think about it, 80% of whatever activity on social media, it's controlled by bots.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
It's curating a lot. And it's also kind of gatekeeping certain. I mean, that's why I'm staying in my niche on YouTube and stuff like that, because the algorithm prefers it that way. And
yeah. But the algorithm is one thing. But the other thing is like, then you have like someone who is following you, whatever, commenting and stuff, that can be bots.
Oh,
yeah. It's like, especially if it's about politics, like political shit, like whatever. It's like, you know, people talk a lot about this, and it's like these like bot farms or whatever from Russia, something's going on there, you know?
Yeah.
So none of those people who follow your YouTube channel are real. They're all Russian bots, bro.
I wish I could just have some real human fans for once. You know, it's funny.
We need more blood. Let's go.
I actually get, I still get this comment sometimes from people. Sometimes people think I'm AI generated. So they look at my videos and they're like, oh, this guy's totally AI.
Okay, he's real. He's real.
No, or if
real.
You're real, you might not be real.
I'm not real.
Maybe this is just a dummy. It's all CGI.
Listen, there's no way there's going to be such a malfunctioning AI like me. I can't. Look, today I couldn't like remember shit. I like forget it. It's like, no, I'm real. Look at this.
There's your proof.
Full with flaws.
Perfectly flawed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like what is beautiful about humans. We are not perfect. We are like, and that's what I like. And that's hopefully that's still considered to be as a good thing in the future.
I think more sophisticated AIs are going to be, they're going to introduce flaws in them so that it's more charming in that sense, for sure. I talked to someone about somebody who wanted to make like a best friend app, like an app who is your best friend or like your therapist or something. And the whole gist was to humanize the AI and make them a little bit edgy, a little bit personal, so that you could have somebody who like insults you or whatever. Yeah. I mean, we already kind of have that with the developing AI language models anyways, and this is a while ago, but yeah. So you can already kind of have that. And I think that's where it's going. And I also think there's going to be, and I already kind of see this, you know, like counter reactions where people reject the AI generated stuff. They don't want to see AI generated art. So they're just like strictly against it. And I want something that's real. And so I actually think, or I hope at least, that live performances are going to come back because of this sort of anti-culture against AI. And people are going to start to realize that freshly picked berries actually taste better than Cocoa Pops.
Fuck. Dude, we have to finish on this one, man. This is awesome. Just the last thing before we do this, I always ask my guests, I call them the balm of wisdom. What would be your balm of wisdom to younger version of you? I would say like maybe when you were in like crossroads, like when you were thinking like maybe to go to Germany, not to go to Germany, stay Sweden, like, and then all of a sudden you just appeared. AI generated, which you kind of already look like. When you earlier said like some people think I'm AI generated, is it because you're so good looking? You're just so perfect?
Oh, that's probably it. This got to be my banging skincare routine.
That thing and this thing as well.
Kawaii.
Yeah, bombs of wisdom.
I would say that the crazier the idea, the better. Yeah, that's my bomb. Yeah, just like if you can dream it, fucking do it. Like try it.
As long as it doesn't involve school shooting.
I mean, younger me wasn't really there, so fortunately, yeah. So this wisdom applies to younger me. Don't necessarily try this at home if you're a depressed American or something in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, I know what you mean. That's great. Yeah, I like it. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I had so much fun, so many good laughs, and a last little dance move. What you got?
Yeah.
Oh, can you do this? Oh, shit. And what? Come back. Oh shit. Awesome. Good stuff, buddy.
Blah, blah, blah. Renars Podcast.